Good evening, everyone. I am Dom.
I am Jamie.
Back with the cutting room floor. And today, we're going to be discussing legendary writer and director John Hughes. We're going to be talking about a select few of his films.
Yes, three that he wrote and directed and one that he just wrote. So we're going to talk about Are we going to go in chronological order? Like 16 Candles,
I guess we should go in chronological.
Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and Pretty in Pink.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, okay.
All right, so what we got first? We got 16 was first?
16 was first, yes.
Well, what year was it, 84?
I believe it was, yes. Yeah.
So 16 Candles. Well, first things first, anyone who knows anything about John Hughes knows that back in the 80s, he was pretty much hand-tied to Molly Ringwald. So Molly is in all but one of these films. And she's the lead in all but one of these films. Well, I guess The Breakfast Club.
It's an ensemble, but she would have been the biggest name at that point.
She definitely was.
Because who knew who Judd Nelson was then?
No one knew Judd Nelson then.
Yeah.
Now he would probably, Emilio.
Yeah. Well, I guess after The Outsiders, because that would have been after The Outsiders.
Yeah, that was after the because Outsiders was like 83.
I believe so.
That's the old boy.
And they would have known Anthony Michael Hall just from 16 Candles.
16, yeah.
Yeah.
He had a pretty nice career from 16 Candles up until honestly until Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah, because he did Vacation was first.
Yeah.
National Lampoon's Vacation.
I just been on a John Hughes kick, man. I'm watching all this shit.
Because he wrote that, but I did see that Harold Ramis and Chevy Chase heavily rewrote the script.
He did. I saw that too.
Because his version, I guess, dealt more with the kids. Yeah, and they wanted, more Chevy.
Yeah, which I mean,
it worked out.
Chevy is great.
And that era Chevy, though, is the best.
Because that, how long? What was that? Right before Fletch?
Yeah, it would have been probably 3 years before Fletch.
Yeah, Chevy was on top of the world then.
Yeah,
he was going hard.
It was right after I think Foul Play he had done with Goldie Hawn. He was obviously post SNL because he only was on for a season and a little bit of the second one, and he just became one of the biggest movie stars.
He did. And he is funny, man. And although they say he is a menace to work with, the magic comes out on screen.
Yeah.
Anywho, so 16 Candles.
Yeah, 16 Candles.
So 16 Candles follows the story of a young girl whose family forgets it's her 16th birthday.
Because it's also the day before her sister's wedding.
Yep, which obviously that's more important than someone's 16th birthday.
Yes.
Which, in defense of the parents, weddings are so stressful.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Goes on. So it's when I was a kid and I first saw that movie, I was like, oh, these parents suck. They're jerks, yada, yada, yada. And then I got older and I'm starting to see what goes into a wedding and how much stress and work it is, even on the parents. And I was like, watching it again, I'm like, her parents don't get a pass, but I understand.
Yeah. It makes a little more sense when you realize, everything that goes into it.
Yeah.
Other than the money. Because it's usually, at least at that point in time, the bride's family paid for everything.
Uh-huh.
And it's and it seemed like they were meeting the other parents
for the first time.
Yeah.
That meeting's so awkward.
yes. And they were obviously horrible. Because, it's the janitor from The Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
with a mullet. He's the guy the sister's marrying.
Yeah, and it's and then the whole movie you're thinking, she shouldn't marry this guy.
No, yeah.
I'm like, how'd they even get together? She was way out of his league.
And really quick, the interesting thing, you take the first three that we're going to talk about, 16 Candles, Breakfast Club, and Ferris Bueller, they all take place within a day or two. They're very short.
Breakfast Club's few hours.
Yeah, 9 hours. Yeah.
9 hours.
And
16 Candles one day, Ferris Bueller's one day.
Yeah. So it's interesting because you're just getting a snapshot of their lives.
Mm-hmm.
So it's obviously a Friday because she's in school. Then the next day her sister's getting married.
Yeah.
So I found that to be interesting because you get to know Farmer Ted.
Yep.
You get to know his friends.
Mm-hmm.
You get to know Jake Ryan.
Jake Ryan, man.
Yeah.
Hunky man.
Yeah. Matt Dillon stunt double.
Yo, that's what I was like. Yo, so funny. I was like, yo, this dude looks like a knockoff Matt Dillon.
He does,
That's
yes.
what I was thinking when I was
He
watching
does,
it.
yeah.
I was like, and I love Matt Dillon.
And look, at the time, that's not bad. Think about it, like 84.
Matt Dillon was the man back then.
Yeah, yeah.
Honestly, I love Matt Dillon. Matt Dillon, even in the 90s, I liked him. Like, I loved Wild Things and Something About Mary and stuff.
He was in Asteroid City.
Oh, yeah, he is in Asteroid
He's the mechanic.
City. He's the mechanic.
Yes.
Because I actually got really excited when I was watching. I was like, oh, it's Matt Dillon.
Yeah.
I was like, my man.
Yeah.
I love Matt. Little quick aside. Great Gus Van Sant movie. Matt Dillon. It's called The Drugstore Cowboy.
Oh, I saw that a long time ago.
It's so good.
Yeah. Gus Van Sant was a great director.
Great director.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, it's a great film. Anywho, if you guys never seen that, seek that one out. It's pretty good.
Who co-stars in that with him?
Heather Graham's in it.
Heather Graham.
Young
Wow.
Heather Graham.
Yeah, it would have been because it would have been right after
License
License to Drive.
I can't remember who plays his girlfriend in it. I cannot remember who plays his girlfriend.
Well,
I can pull it up on the phone.
Well, here we can maybe.
Anywho, yeah, you pull it up. So anywho,
yeah,
now 16 Candles. One thing I find interesting about this film is the rating system, because that was 16 Candles came out before they established the PG-13.
Kelly Lynch. I'm sorry.
Lynch.
Yes. She was in a lot of movies around that time.
She was in a lot of stuff back
then.
then.
Yeah.
But if you watch 16 Candles, if this came out today, it would be a hard R-rated film.
It would be. It would be.
You see nudity,
lots
of F-bombs, all kinds of stuff.
And a lot of people complain about it's like racist because of Long Duck Dong.
Yo, so as I was watching it, so I'm watching it, and I'm like, yo, Long Duck Dong. I'm like, I know so many people watch this now, and they probably get very offended by this character. But I'm like, Long Duck Dong was cool.
And the thing is, you have to realize, like in the early 80s, and I think they actually show it in the film, but you have to, I think, understand the subtext. It's like the grandparents who adopted him or are sponsoring him or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
It's that weird, like, white savior complex. Yeah, so it's like, they feel like they're doing something good for someone who, I hate to say is less fortunate, because they weren't born in America, right?
That's the word.
So I don't think it's necessarily like a racist portrayal of that character. I think it's almost like how they viewed him.
Mm-hmm.
So he played it up.
He played it up.
Yeah.
And you got to think about it. It's the mid-'80s. We didn't have the diversity we have now.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, our idea of, and I wasn't even alive then, but I mean, even for me, growing up in the 90s, I didn't grow up around a lot of Asian people. So everything I knew about Asian culture was from movies.
Yeah,
so that's everything I knew. So it's like, of course, now I'm a little older. I've met Asian people, made Asian friends, and they're just like anyone else. But I mean, for the time, this is probably what he thought.
Yes, yes.
I'm like, I don't know if we can really fault him for that. And it's not like he had the Asian stereotypes in it, but it's not like he was negatively portrayed.
No, because he was having a good time.
Yeah, he had a blast.
He was
to go to the dance.
Yeah, he was hooking up with that weightlifting chick.
Yeah, the big chick.
Yeah.
Big tall chick.
Because see, here's the crazy thing. Like before this film came out, there was a book in 1980 called the Official Preppy Handbook.
Okay, never heard of it.
Which was written. Felicia has a copy of it.
Is it good?
It's good. It's sort of like a parody of like preppy culture. Yeah. So then they did come out with the Yuppie Handbook.
Yeah.
Because
that was probably hilarious.
Because the Yuppies would be because see, there are like you can go online and like see these and like borrow them and like actually read them online.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And then there's one, the I Hate Preppies Handbook, which came out as an answer to the Official Preppy Handbook. So like you have, obviously we all know what preppies are, if only because of Zach Morris on Saved by the Bell.
Was like the quintessential preppy.
Yeah,
his name was Preppy.
Yeah, because that's what Slater would always call him. It's like, okay, Preppy. So then, like the Yuppies would be like the parents of the preppies, the young professionals, like 25 to 45. So that would be the parents, a lot of their kids would be preppies, but then the I Hate Preppies handbook goes over greasers, jocks, nerds, and freaks.
Yeah, freaks, which would be like a modern day goth problem.
Yeah, or Ali Sheedy in The Breakfast Club.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
Because now she would be considered just like a goth or alternative
or emo.
Yeah,
because goth became emo with like My Chemical Romance and stuff.
My Chemical Romance, pretty much.
Yeah,
that era of music kind of shifted goth to emo. Like all those bands, the Used and people like that.
Dashboard Confessional.
I ain't gonna lie, I love Dashboard.
Yeah.
I love My Chemical Romance.
Is that why your hair is everywhere? Screaming infidelity?
Yeah.
Is that why?
That's exactly why. Hey, they made the Spider-Man theme.
Yeah, they did from Vindicated.
Yeah, Vindicated.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2, right?
Yeah, Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Which, could possibly, probably the best live action Spider-Man
hey,
movie. It might be.
2.1 is slightly longer and a better film. A couple deleted scenes in there.
Never watched it.
Yeah. Spider-Man 2.1.
I'm going to have to watch that. I didn't know it existed.
But anyway, I'm sorry. So those books kind of set up, I think, the context for his films in the wider culture of the early 80s.
Yeah.
So then people understood like who Farmer Ted was. They understood who Samantha was, Sam. And who her parents were, and they understood like what do they call the guy her sister's marrying? Some kind of bohunk. I forget.
What did they call him?
But it's got to be. He's kind of like I hate to say like a Guido type of person. Like you know what I mean? Like that's sort of what he is. Like a stereotype of.
He is.
Yeah. So
but I think that's one of the beauties of that film is that
everyone is almost a stereotype.
Yeah, all of them. Every character, the Asian characters, the preppy characters, like the Guido type character, everyone. And Jake Ryan, he's he appeared to be, the stereotypical jockey, hot athlete guy.
Yeah.
He was actually quite different.
Yeah, and I think it's actually his film in the end.
It is his film.
Because his character arc is the best one because
I think so.
He actually takes the turn.
He does.
And learns something and becomes something else.
I think him and
Farmer Ted?
No. Anthony Michael Hall's character, I think they were the best.
Yeah, Farmer Ted.
Yeah, I think they were the best. I think they were the best arcs in the movie.
Yeah.
Especially when they start hanging out.
Yes, and they actually, and it's like, what?
Like, take my dad's car. And I'd be like, bro, I'm not driving your dad's car.
So the other elephant in the room for this film, besides Long Duck Dong, is people talk about like the illusion or insinuation of date rape. But if you watch the film,
I never thought of it like that.
Now, if you watch the film, though, the girl, I forget her name. It's like Jake's now ex-girlfriend is with Farmer Ted, Anthony Michael Hall's character, and he's trying to drive her home, and she's coming on to him hard.
Yeah, I was like, bro, she laid it down.
And she gives him a pill, right? And she's like, now we're both on the pill. And he like spits it out. He's like, do you know what the pill could do to a guy my age?
Yeah.
And she's like, do you know what it does for a girl my age? It means I can do anything. Which means, if anything happened, she was more than willing for anything to happen with him.
Like, I'm down. She was down from the rip. I mean, he knew what it was. He's driving her. She's singing all in the car.
Yeah.
She's all drunk.
Yeah.
She's having fun with him, bro.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the movie makes her out like when they introduce her when she's in the shower and stuff.
Yeah.
Molly Ringwald and her friend, they're watching her and they're like, oh, she's just so perfect and sweet and this, then she is nothing like that.
No. She trashes Jake's house, invites everybody over.
She was insane.
Yeah.
I was like, but I will say, when I was in high school, she would have been my ideal. She would have been my idea of a good time. Me and her would have had a great night together.
I guess that's what the film is about, though, like getting to know people for who they are instead of what you think or their appearances. Because even
everyone was far more than what they appeared on the surface.
Because even I keep calling him Farmer Ted because he said that was his nickname, but Anthony Michael Hall's character, the geek, as it is in the credits, like. He is one of the best characters because he's trying to help Jake.
Yes, he is.
He's trying to help Sam because she helped him with the underwear.
With the underwear.
Yeah, And he's trying to help get his girlfriend back home, even though he doesn't have a license, doesn't know how to drive.
Doesn't know how to drive. He's like, yeah, I trust you. I'm like, bro, I'm not.
Yeah, like what?
Probably $40,000 car.
And that was a Rolls Royce. Yeah.
Then,
yeah,
even
like
back then, a Rolls Royce was probably like $70K.
Yeah,
crazy. And he let him take it.
It's like
about it.
And the house is trash. Who cleans up the house? What happens when his parents get home?
Nah, maybe he got the maid on speed dial.
Oh, that's true. They probably do have a maid. Yeah,
he was rich,
I didn't think about that.
He probably called the maid like, "Hey, I'm gonna need you to slide in. I'll slide you a little something."
Yeah,
because it's like it is crazy because I do think that is the real beauty of that film. It's like everyone is far more than what they appear. Because I think we've all, me especially, I know when I was coming up in school. Like, I was popular among the people in my grade, but when I looked at the upperclassmen, I would look at them. I really would look at them like, man, dude, he's got it all. She's got it all.
Yeah.
They probably don't do this or do that. And then, I started to get to know some of these people. I'm like, bro, they're just like me.
Yeah.
Like, they're not that different. They like goofy stuff, too, and they like sitting back eating pizza on a Friday night.
Yeah.
They like watching stupid films, too. They're not... It's funny when you really do get to break down someone. Like, I'll give you another good example. So when I was a senior in high school, I ended up dating one of the more pretty popular girls in school. I did. And all my boys were like, Dom, there is no way you can pull her. It's a facade. It's fake. It's not real. It's not going to happen, never. And I never intended it to happen. I didn't try. We had a class together. And for whatever reason, she was like, Dom, I want you to be my partner. And I was like, okay. I didn't really know her that well. I knew who she was. Everyone knew she was. She was popular and she was hot.
Wait, was she a redhead?
She wasn't.
Okay, just checking.
Dark hair, olive skin. But
oh, wow.
Dang, freaking gorgeous. She was hot, man. And it was crazy, bro. When I was dating her, so many guys were like, bro, how? How did you do it? They're like, I'm like, bro, I didn't. The key was I really didn't try.
Okay.
And I think it's actually similar to a lot of tropes you see in movies where the popular pretty girl goes for the lesser guy after dealing with jerks and people like that. But little she find out, I'm not that much different.
Yeah, but are you the lesser guy? That's the question. Yeah. But like in her eyes.
In her eyes.
Yes,
she's
yes.
Like, oh, he's just dumb.
Yeah.
You know me.
Yeah.
But so it was like, everyone's looking at her like a unicorn. And, my friends, the class I had with her was right before lunch. So me and her, my boys would all come meet me before lunch because Coatesville, we freaking hop in the whip and go to McDonald's every day.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't do the cafeteria.
Yeah, it was right down the road.
Right up the road.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
So we would hop in the whip and go up there. We'd sneak out. And they'd see me coming out of class with her talking and stuff. And what the hell is going on here? And, I leave her and let her go to her friends. And then, every day they're like, oh, Dom, you think it ain't going to happen. She just being nice to you. She ain't going to give you the time of day. And I'm like, gentlemen, I'm not even trying. I'm not trying. And dude, I think me not putting, like, everyone's so, oh, I want you. I just treated her like a regular ass person.
Yeah, and that's what.
Her. And I realized, like, yo, she was cool, she liked emo music and stuff. No one ever knew that,
Yeah.
She liked watching weird, like she loved movies like Nightmare Before Christmas, like Ted Burton stuff, weird stuff that the edgier kids like.
Yeah.
And no one knew this stuff about her. And I was like, gosh, she's actually pretty cool. And they're like, yeah, whatever. We know what you're thinking about.
So basically, you got to know her on more than just a superficial level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where I was like, yo, we became friends, and like. After a while, she just had to have me. She pretty much was like, Dom, I like you. What's good? We should totally
Yeah.
I was like, yeah? She's like, yeah. And then, yeah. And no one could believe it. All my friends were like, I just can't believe it. And then, we got close, and eventually I was bringing her to McDonald's with us.
Wow.
And then next thing you know, she's at my crib after school when the homies are over.
Yeah.
And they're like, and then they got to know her, and they're like, bro, she's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, guys, people are far more than they appear,
Yeah.
Far more than they appear. So
you just have to give them the chance.
You got to give them the chance. And
yeah.
Just like in that film, Anthony Michael Hall was terrified of Jake.
Yeah, you could tell in the beginning.
Yo, he was he thought he was gonna kick his ass all the time. He was just like, oh man, He was like, bro, we're cool. He was a nice guy. Jake was a regular dude.
Yeah.
He's like, I was just cursed with these good looks.
Yeah.
And, and my family has money, so it is what it is. But after he got to know them that night, he didn't look at him the same. He's like,
yeah.
It's like, if I see you in the hall, I can say what's up.
Yeah,
which is like one of the major themes of the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
But
and you're right, because that would have been a major like paradigm shift at that time, and probably even still now in high school. I don't know, because I'm obviously old and decrepit. But the
high school is different even from when I was there, man.
Yeah, because it's like
the game has totally changed.
Because that would have given Ted then, like, I'll say, like, street cred.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like, bro, you're cool with Jake.
You're
cool with a lot of people by default now.
Yeah.
You got a lot of new, side friends.
Yeah.
People will look out for you now.
Yes.
If you see somebody giving you a wedgie, we'll probably stop it.
Yeah, because his real estate went up in value then.
Definitely did.
Yeah.
And dude, he banged one of the hottest girls in the school, bro. He might not remember it.
Yeah.
But it happened.
And then he put on his headgear.
Yep.
Which is the weirdest. Because I was talking with Felicia about it. I was like, he was really prepared to not go home that night because he had his headgear.
Yep, he really was. He
was
like, hey, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It is, now that we're going through it and breaking down some of his themes, I think it actually is probably a little better than I was even thinking. Just because it's like, I think everyone goes through that in life. Even as adults, we go through that.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't end.
Someone for the first time and you get this surface level idea of them and who they might be as a person. And, you might feel intimidated or you might think lesser of them or whatever. Then you start getting to know them and you're like, we're two peas in a pod.
Oh, dude, that's how you and I kind of met.
Yeah.
I found out you were a nerd, which isn't an insult.
Yeah, no, bro.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly.
And I was like, oh my God, this dude's a nerd. And then we just started watching movies and talking and realized we actually have more in common than not.
Yeah. Like a lot more in common than most people. If most people just took a look at us both, they'd probably be like, these two guys have nothing to do.
Polar opposites.
Yeah. Which couldn't be further from the truth.
Yeah.
Like, we're quite similar. Which is, and it's, life is like that.
Yeah.
And I think the film just shows us that no matter what we're taught, no matter how many people we meet, first impressions, preconceived notions are always going to be there.
Yeah.
You're always going to have some kind of idea in your head, no matter what. You can't turn it off. It's natural.
Yeah.
It's human.
Yeah, prejudice, it might actually be ingrained and not necessarily the type of prejudice people think of.
Negative
yeah.
It's like prejudice doesn't necessarily have to be a negative thing. It's just they're different.
Yeah, and you look at like Long Duck Dong, you're going to assume he's good at math.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that kind of prejudice.
Yeah, and especially the way they portray his character.
Yeah.
He's portrayed like the stereotypical Asian, I guess. So of course they'd be like, yeah, he's probably really good at math. And
I guess that's what made him. I guess that's what made it so funny. Him going against the stereotype in the film. Yeah,
and I think, now that we think about it, maybe John Hughes was onto something.
Yeah.
Back then, even before all that, because if you look at his films, he doesn't really have many ethnic characters in them.
No, not at all.
White people. So.
It's usually an indictment of white middle class culture.
White middle class culture, which is fine because it's quite. I think I wasn't alive when most of these films came out, but I feel like based on things I've heard and just from basic observation, it seems quite accurate.
Yeah.
How he portrays some of it, except in Pretty in Pink, which we'll get there.
Yeah, we will. Sorry.
Yeah, but
sorry, I just had a reaction. But he started out writing for National Lampoon, the magazine.
Yeah.
So he started out like lampooning or satirizing, I think, a lot of those I'll say tropes.
Yeah, the tropes.
To begin with. And even Vacation started out as a story he wrote for National Lampoon. So did Christmas Vacation. So it's like, he took what he knew, and I guess what he I'll say what he was comfortable with, because maybe that's what it was. It was like if he grew up in maybe an upper middle class setting, because he loved Chicago from his movies.
Chicago, man. I'm like,
so he just kind of maybe transplanted whatever he went through to like what then would have been the modern era of like, you know,
that's
new
exactly
wave and
that is exactly what I looked at. I was like, these clearly got to be reflections of him growing up, just based on the modern times and when he was writing this stuff.
Yes.
But what's with Chicago? So many 80s teen movies, like Risky Business takes place in Chicago too. Like, so many movies.
Well, you got to think, like, big cities, you have, like, New York, Chicago, and L.A., and that's pretty much, you know, from east to west coast. Mm-hmm. Like, there's not really... those are the big American cities when you think about it.
Yeah.
So, it's probably... It could be just as simple as, like, tax breaks to film there.
Yeah, it's probably cheaper.
Yeah.
I mean, Chicago's a great city, you know, so... You know, I was born out in that area, so like I love Chicago as a city, so it don't bother me none. It's just interesting.
Yeah,
it's freaking cold. Like,
yeah, it's windy. I hear
it's windy. It's cold. Like summertime, Chicago is great. God, them winters, man, it's brutal.
Wow.
But I do think 16 Candles actually is. It is actually a masterpiece in its own way.
Yeah, it started. That
it kind of kicked that genre off.
Yeah.
And that genre really rolled all the way into like the early 2000s.
Yeah, because he combined like some of the more like gross out comedy of like Animal House or Porky's.
Yeah, Porky's.
But made it
Dialed it down, made it digestible.
Yes, exactly.
Porky's it's insane, Porky's. Some of the stuff in Porky's is so great. But I love Porky's. Porky's is freaking hilarious, you know. It ain't as good as some of these other films, but Porky's is fun.
But after Animal House, you know, people just tried to cash in on that type of teenage or college humor.
Yeah,
so
Animal House was a huge, because what is that, 78?
Yeah, 78.
Yeah, 78. So like that really probably was like the first really popular like college party fun, like kids just being kids.
Yeah.
And, like going through, like there was no grand message in it.
No.
It was just fun.
It was a futile and stupid gesture. That was the message.
When he's at the buffet and he smack what is it that he smacks together and shoots out?
Oh, his cheeks. Because he fills his cheeks. He's like,
was it coleslaw or something?
It was either coleslaw or like mashed potatoes.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm a zit.
I'm a zit. Yeah. He's
Yeah.
Like that back then, I feel like that had to be one of the first movies putting stuff like that in them. Because like most 70s films, like even the comedies, they had a lot of undertones of serious big themes back in the 70s.
I mean, it was Mel Brooks and Woody Allen as far as comedy went.
As far as comedy. And Woody Allen wasn't like, you know, crazy like
no
humor or anything.
No. If anything, that would have been more Mel Brooks with like Blazing Saddles. Yeah.
Mel Brooks is great, you know. Young Frankenstein, right?
Oh, yeah. High Anxiety, making fun of Hitchcock movies. Yeah.
Oh, freaking Dead and Loving It. Didn't he do that?
I don't know if he did, but Leslie Nielsen is in it. I'm not sure if he did it.
Did he do Dead and Loving It?
Because that's, you know, when Leslie Nielsen got typecast as being, you know, a funny guy instead of a dramatic actor. Because I know it's Dracula, Dead and Loving It. Because it was 95.
Yeah, I was like, because it was pretty much like a parody of Bram Stoker's.
Yeah. Oh my God, he did do it.
He did it.
Oh my God.
Like, bro, he's a genius.
Oh my God. I didn't realize that he did.
Yeah, so I was like, I think he did that.
Wow. So Young Frankenstein isn't the only horror film that he. Because Young Frankenstein, I guess, is more like the early 30s Universal horror.
Yes, Universal.
Those like
not scary.
Yeah,
like,
those like B movies.
Yep. And now
they're
considered masterpieces. But,
yeah.
I mean, I think 16 Candles. It's funny though, because like we're diving into this movie and we've barely discussed the lead.
Because I don't think it's really her film.
It's not her film.
No, I think that's why.
She's the face of it, but like, honestly, like, what's so important about her? Oh, she wants Jake Ryan. Cool.
Yeah,
that's like her main mission.
And she's upset that her parents forgot her birthday, but they're honestly busy. Like, she doesn't give a shit about her sister's wedding.
She don't give a damn.
Yeah.
At 16.
Yeah, who would, really? Yeah.
You wouldn't.
Yeah, but still.
Like, I get both sides of it.
Yeah.
I get both sides.
Yeah, and I think that's it. She's not as relatable as, like, Jake or Ted.
She's not. You know, they're both far more relatable. Because everybody's been a Jake in a situation. Everybody's been a Ted in a situation. There's been a time where you're looking up to somebody, and there's been a time someone's looking up to you. So
Yeah.
that's why I thought the best stuff in the movie was their interactions, and then of course like Ted hanging out with his girlfriend and stuff.
Oh my God!
I just love at the end when Jake pulls up, and he pretty much realizes they hooked up,
and he's like and he doesn't even care about the Rolls Royce. It's them together, kind of in what looks like post-coital.
Dude, I mean, I'd be like, I know what went on. Last night,
and he would know because he was her boyfriend.
Yeah, I'm like, you know how she is. You know her better than most people.
Yeah.
But you gotta give the credit too, because the underdog came up and lost it to the popular girl, hot popular girl.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you don't a lot of people don't realize, but like, dude, a lot of times the underdog will come up and bag a chick way out of his league. It happens, man. Like,
and that was the era of, because Revenge of the Nerds came out the same year.
Yes,
and so it's like this whole early 80s, early to mid 80s thing, you have nerds being more popular in pop culture, because then the next year, and the same year as The Breakfast Club, you also had Weird Science. With Anthony Michael Hall.
Which is a great film. I actually just bought that on Blu-ray.
Yeah, like he and Mitchell Ian Smith as obviously the quintessential nerds.
Young Robert Downey Jr.
Yes,
there, bro.
yes.
Dressed super fly in there, bro.
Yeah.
His gear in there is A1.
Yeah, because that's...
Who's the chick who played the chick they made?
Oh, Kelly LeBrock.
God, she was
Steven
hot,
Seagal's ex-wife.
Is it?
Yeah.
She was hot back then.
Because I think she was in Hard to Kill with him.
Was she in Hard?
Yeah.
I haven't seen Hard to Kill in freaking ever, man.
Because early Steven Seagal films weren't bad, I admit it.
Decent,
Above the Law, Hard to Kill. All the ones that are like 3-word titles, basically, or like syllables, because like Under Siege.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you had to...
Steven Seagal, he was going hard for a while.
Yeah, wasn't he an Executive Decision with Kurt Russell? Was that the one?
He is.
Yeah.
Kurt, my man.
Yeah, so like I don't know what happened to him. Like probably mentally.
Well, they say he's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
They say he's one of the worst dudes to work with.
Even when he hosted SNL, they were like, he was the worst host that we ever had.
The worst host of all time.
Yeah.
They were like, he is by far the worst.
And they've had a lot of hosts.
Bad ones.
Yeah.
We had some bad ones. He is by far the worst.
Yeah.
Like, screw him. But I do, now that we're breaking it down, I'm like, 16 Candles may be far more important to American pop culture than I even realized.
Yeah, I think it is.
I'm like, I think it is. Because like you said, it kind of started a genre. And on top of that, I mean, it really is one of the first, like, kind of popular underdog films. Because Jake Ryan wanted Molly Ringwald.
Yeah, yeah, and that in a way made him the underdog.
Yeah,
because if you look at like, we'll look at it then. Like Pretty in Pink, it's kind of the same type of story in a way.
It is definitely the same type of story,
but it's framed differently, so it seems terrible.
It doesn't flow as well.
No, but it could be because it takes place over a longer time period.
That too, but I also think the class structure they implemented into the film so much is what kind of killed
it. Was heavy-handed.
It was very heavy-handed.
Yeah.
I was like, the main theme of that movie, it ain't young love, it ain't social class.
And that's what I think makes Jake different, because you look at his girlfriend, who is kind of a whore. I mean, I hate to say it, and she alludes to it. Because she's like, there's plenty of people that want this. Yep. She even tells Jake at one point, and Jake is like, don't you believe in just loving one person?
She was like, this dude wants me and that dude.
Yeah. And Jake's like, what about love of just one person? And it's weird to hear that from a guy at that point.
18-year-old guy. Who was handsome, popular, probably get
who could have had anybody. Like, he didn't want that.
He didn't want none of that. Which I think it was cool, too, because back then, macho men were starting to come in, big, tough guy. Being a tough guy was really, like, kind of in back then. Because, you know, you had guys like Arnold getting real popular.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because First Blood was around that time. And that had been out for a year or two. And Conan.
Conan was around that time.
Yeah, and Terminator would have been that same year.
Yeah, it was right after. So,
yeah,
I think Terminator was a year after. So, like,
you
had these big, masculine, macho men, like, working out was starting to get really big back then. Muscle Beach. And, like, just being a man's man was big. And Jake Ryan showed us a nice, sensitive guy, but he still wasn't a punk. He wasn't a loser. He was like, you can be cool and still have emotions and be a sensitive man. You don't have to be a macho guy. It's okay to want to be with one girl. Yeah, you know? But
I think he had to go through the roller coaster of popularity in order to realize that's not what he wanted.
Yep.
And that it's finite because high school ends.
High school ends.
Yeah.
It's a short time.
And what are you after that?
Yep.
You know, I guess that's kind of the beauty of these films, unlike Pretty in Pink, because you're in their lives for, like, let's say 24 hours in 16 Candles, and then you're out.
You're out.
So you don't know what happens after.
What happens? Yo, you're like wondering, like,
whereas Pretty in Pink, it's like weeks or months, and you're like, I really don't care what happens now.
Yes.
Yeah. But you care when you're teased, you care. So, like, Breakfast Club, it's like 9 hours, so you care. You're like, well, what is going to happen Monday? Because they even talk about it.
Man, I kind of wish he would have made just a comic strip of something. Something. You ain't got to tell us everything. But just
the only one of these characters in any of these films that actually plans for the future is Ferris Bueller. Because he actually talks about it when Cameron is, like, you know, catatonic, and they're by the pool, and he's talking to the audience because he obviously breaks the fourth wall a lot.
Yeah.
And he's saying, he's like, you know what, we graduate in a few months, we'll both work our jobs over the summer, and then we're both going to separate colleges, and that's it. Like, he actually at least has a plan, like, for college and beyond. Like, Ferris Bueller is the only one, and because of that, I'll talk more when we get to that, but it's weird to, like, because you want to know what happens to, like, Ted and Jake and even Sam, like, after, as I knock over everything because I'm getting excited. Yeah. Like, you want to know what happens because it ends with Jake and Sam kissing. Like, do they make it?
Yes.
Do they not?
Do they not? And it's like, because, and of course, like, Pretty in Pink has a real similar ending to that.
Yeah.
But you just don't care.
It wasn't supposed to. She was supposed to end up with Ducky. Yes.
And there was another
and I was pissed off.
Yeah, there's another version.
She ended up with Steph. No. Ducky ended up with Steph. Because you saw him wrestling around on the floor.
I think there was a version where they were saying, like, she ends up alone.
Oh, really?
Which, honestly, probably would have been better.
I think so, because it was disappointing.
It was. And I'm like, and Ducky's simping over. We'll get to Pretty.
Yeah, sorry.
We'll get there.
Okay, so
we're probably going to have the most to say about that one.
So what would you rate 16 Candles now that we've been talking about it?
So on an A to F scale, I'm going to give 16 Candles, I'm going to give it a B+. Because I enjoyed it more this time than any time I've ever seen it.
Me too.
It's because I'm older and now I've went through high school and college and I've seen cliques and stuff. Because cliques were still big when I was in school.
Yeah.
I feel like cliques now are like, I guess schools still have cliques. They're just not the same.
Yeah,
I feel like it's not the nerd, jock, preppy no more. I'm not going to discuss what the cliques are now because I just don't even want to get into the politics of the world.
There's probably too many letters involved. It's an alphabet soup now. It's an alphabet soup. It's alphabets.
It is alphabets.
So
there's a lot of everything going on.
Yeah.
So I'm not even going to get into that. But
you know, I would agree because I would have said like an A-, which is also a B+, basically.
Yes.
But I was looking at it differently too because I'd seen it years ago and I didn't like it.
Yeah, I thought it was okay the first time I saw it.
But I was looking at it like based on like his direction. I think it's the first film he directed. You know, the editing, the acting, and the story. And I think, you know, obviously his films that take place over 1 or 2 days, it's great for the costume department.
Yes,
you know, because very little costume changes. That's it. But I think that's why, because it's like condensed, it's succinct, and the pacing is better.
The pacing is really well.
Yeah.
16 Candles. I think out of all 4 of the movies, I think 16 Candles probably paces the best.
Yes, yeah.
Because
Because even Ferris Bueller, there's some editing.
Yeah, there's some interesting editing. In
Yeah.
Ferris Bueller. I do think the editing was pretty slick in Breakfast Club.
Oh, the Breakfast Club is, I think, more kinetic because it has to be because it's a shorter period of time.
And
yeah.
Like, it really does feel like they shot it in one day, probably.
Yeah, it does. It feels like it. Yeah.
Really, they get. We'll get.
Well, yeah, it is next.
Right,
so let's go ahead.
So your final score B plus.
Yeah, I agree. A B plus. Yeah.
B plus across the board.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that's doable. I think it's John Hughes is clearly a good writer. Not even just with comedies or kids films or teenage films.
Yeah.
Because I think my favorite screenplay of his is still The Great Outdoors. But
God, he wrote that. I didn't even realize. What about Planes, Trains, and Automobiles?
He wrote and directed.
Yeah. So
that's why he didn't direct The Great Outdoors.
Oh, because he was doing Planes.
He was directing Planes.
Yeah.
He really wanted to work with Steve Martin.
I mean, look, he wrote Home Alone.
He wrote
a classic.
Yeah.
Uncle Buck. Chris Columbus.
Yeah, Uncle Buck.
Yeah, Chris Columbus, who also directed Adventures in Babysitting, another great 80s.
I love Adventures in Babysitting.
Yeah.
It's so good. And you got the chick from The Boys is in it.
Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah. The chick who runs everything.
Yeah, but also from Karate Kid.
Oh yeah, she's the love interest.
Yes, in the first Karate Kid.
And then because he gets beat up from her ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
God, that movie's great. That's a good high school.
That is a great one. That's a good one. But I think it's a different genre though, because it's almost like sports. Yeah.
It's like a sports drama.
Because it's all about the All Valley Karate Championship.
Yeah.
With all white kids doing karate. So it's like the weirdest, craziest, monochromatic.
So good,
it is. It's great. It's great.
It shouldn't be that good. Honestly, Mr. Miyagi is really what makes.
Oh my God, Pat Morita.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He
is. They wanted Toshiro Mifune to play him.
Yes.
But he couldn't speak enough English.
And you know what? He would have been incredible. Because Pat Morita, I think before the Karate Kid was more of a comedian comedy guy. Because he was Arnold in Happy Days.
Yeah.
Like he owned the diner at first before Al and Fonzie bought it.
That's
like
great.
I'm a big Happy Days nerd. I'm sorry.
Happy Days is great.
Yeah, like look, Ron Howard.
Ron Howard, man, Richie Cunningham.
Yeah. So yeah, Pat Morita, and I think he was in early episodes of MASH because he could be because they needed Asian looking actors.
Guys,
yeah.
That makes sense.
So yeah, he was more comedy, and then the Karate Kid came along, and it's more serious.
It is. He's very serious in that.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, he made a career then out of Karate Kid stuff.
He did. I'm like, bro, people were still quoting that film.
Yeah.
From it, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, shoot, anytime I meet someone named Daniel, I'll call
Yeah. And, I have, people at my work love it when it's on TV because they'll just.
That's a movie if it's on, you'll just let it rock.
Yeah. And no matter what point it's at.
Any point.
He could be doing the thing to heal his leg, and you're like, well, I got to watch it now. I got to watch the crane kick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because that's all there's left, but I still have to watch it.
You got to watch it. It's great, man. He's all effed up.
Put him in a body bag. Sweep the leg.
I still got to watch Cobra Kai.
You do.
Good?
Dude, Cobra Kai.
It's great.
Cobra Kai, believe it or not, is just really quick. It starts off like almost 40 years later, but it's like Johnny's story, or it starts out as Johnny's story. So it's what happened to Johnny after the beginning of like Karate Kid Part 2.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think you kind of lose track of him for the rest of 2. He's not in 3.
Mm-hmm.
The next Karate Kid isn't even Daniel.
It's not even Daniel.
So.
Or girl Hillary.
So it's like what happens to Johnny Lawrence, who would have been like the cool, popular rich kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
which was pretty cool.
It is really cool because this can't be a spoiler because they're on season 6 should be out soon.
Yeah, I'm laughing.
And so in the first season, it's basically he becomes sort of Mr. Miyagi to a kid who's getting bullied in school. So he brings Cobra Kai back in order to help this kid. And
it's a little more positive this time. Huh?
It is. He tries to make it more positive because it does, but it's not really because of him.
Okay.
And it's like he has really good intentions. He's trying to help this kid and help other like nerds and outcasts learn how to defend themselves. And you watch it and you're like, I effing love Johnny Lawrence now.
Dude,
it's his redemption story. Yeah, it's Johnny's redemption story. Because look, he was a dick in Back to School.
Yeah.
He was a dick in European Vacation.
Oh yeah,
he was like he was like the quintessential '80s dick.
He was.
And this is like his chance to like redeem himself. And I'll tell you what, William Zabka, dude, he is so good in it. And because he's like stuck in the '80s, he's kind of like Uncle Rico in Napoleon Dynamite. Yeah. Because he's driving like the same type of car that he was driving in like '84, still listening to like '80s tunes. It's still, you know, and he's kind of stuck, but this kid and these other kids kind of help him get out of this funk that he's been in for almost 40 years.
Bring him into the modern world.
Yeah, and it's incredible.
Oh, man, I gotta watch it now.
If only like the first season, but if you watch the first season, you'll be like, now I gotta watch the second.
Everyone's like, dude,
yeah,
you're gonna want to watch all of it.
It's cheesy, but it's intentionally cheesy, and it's nostalgic, and it gets you hooked because if you love the Karate Kid and stuff, you'll be like, well, I got to see what happens, because in the first season, Daniel finds out Cobra Kai is back, and he's not having it.
Yeah, because he comes back.
Yeah, and that's where the conflict comes in, because Daniel is more like the asshole than Johnny.
Wow.
And that's where like the conflict comes in, because he's trying to stop Johnny from doing something good for these kids that are more like Daniel was in the first one. And Daniel can't see it because he's blinded by what he thinks Cobra Kai is. Yeah. Because,
I mean, they were terrible.
Yeah, they were because of John Kreese.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, but, you know, Johnny is like, well, this is my chance to do something and to be something more. And it's incredible.
Man, I gotta watch it.
And look,
I gotta be hyped for it.
Ed Asner plays Johnny's stepdad.
Damn.
Ed Asner, dude, I mean, he's gone now, R.I.P., you know, but he was in his 90s still working.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, so, and Ed Asner's one of the best, you know, he's just a really great character actor. Even just Lou Grant from the Mary Tyler Moore Show, that solidified him as being incredible.
Dang.
Yeah.
Cobra Kai.
Yeah, Cobra Kai. And, you know, they're only 20-some minute episodes.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm thinking they're, you know how shows are now.
Yeah.
Episodes and
they're
mini films.
Yeah, no, so it's kind of like, it's more like a sitcom than it is a drama.
Okay, bet.
Yeah. So.
All right, guys. Sorry about that.
Sorry, yeah.
Get a little bit of Karate Kid in.
Yeah.
Look, if you're watching this, you probably like the Karate Kid too.
Yeah, you would have to.
You know, yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Man. So
The Breakfast Club, yes.
Yeah, that song, man. That song still comes on all the time.
You mean the Simple Minds song, Don't You Forget About Me? Okay.
Comes on all the time.
Really quick. I have loved the band Simple Minds for decades, and I hate that song.
I bet you do.
Because that is the only song they ever did that they didn't write.
They didn't write that?
No, they have like 30 albums. Because they're really huge. They're a Scottish band. They're huge overseas. And they have so many great songs, so many great albums, even before that. And nobody effing knows just because that one song.
Yeah, that one song.
Billy Idol was supposed to do that song. He turned it down.
I bet he's regretting that.
And they went to Simple Minds and they did it. It became huge. Billy Idol covers the song.
Yep. He's like,
I swear that's not a lie. I'm like, dude, what the hell? They wanted you to begin with.
He was like, well, I didn't know what was on my hands.
Yeah.
You know? A lot of times
but look,
like that. Will Smith turned down The Matrix.
Wow. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so.
And really quick with The Breakfast Club, it actually has a great 80s soundtrack.
Oh, it does. It's amazing.
Dude, Wang Chung, that song that plays when they're like running through the halls trying to avoid the principal, that's Wang Chung, man.
Yeah.
The guys who did like Dance Hall Days and Everybody Have Fun Tonight. And they did the entire soundtrack to another great 80s film, To Live and Die in L.A.
I've never seen that. I heard it's great.
Yeah, it is. It's a great cop movie.
I've been wanting to see that for a while.
Dude, Wang Chung is an underrated 80s band, but that song from The Breakfast Club is probably one of their best tunes.
Yeah, everybody knows. Everybody Have Fun Tonight, though.
Everybody knows that. In the extended version, it's great. One of the background singers at one point, because you don't hear it on the radio because they never play the extended version. There's one of the background singers. He's like, "Can someone tell me what a Wang Chung is?" He says it in the song, and it's only in the extended album cut. So if you get a chance to listen to it, it's incredible because you're like, even the background singers are like, "What the hell is a Wang Chung?" It's a musical note, apparently. Is actually what it is.
Okay.
But even someone who knows music had no clue what the hell a Wang Chung is.
I know.
Yeah. Still a great band. Amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
amazing.
soundtrack when I was watching it the other night.
Yeah.
Bro, I was bopping along. I was like, oh,
yeah.
The soundtrack is lit.
And even the instrumental songs are really good.
It's just, if that movie is literally drops you right into the mid-80s.
Yeah.
Right into it. Just like how Clueless drops you right into the mid-90s.
Oh my God, yes, Clueless.
Like Clueless will drop you right into the mid-90s. Feel like you're in a time machine.
Yeah.
Breakfast Club will definitely do that. So The Breakfast Club.
5 kids in detention.
Yep, 5 kids in detention.
Yeah.
All from different archetypes of high school cliques.
Yeah.
This film is very high school political. It's very much about the politics of high school. There's
you're right.
Conversation. That's pretty much what the whole third act in the conversations they're talking about is. It's literally about them talking about the politics of high school.
Yeah, I mean...
And it's very similar to the politics in the real world.
It is, because you have the princess, you have the athlete, you have the brain, the outcast, and the criminal.
Rebel. Yeah,
the criminal. Yeah, they call him a criminal. Or he calls himself a criminal.
Yeah, I'm like, he is a criminal. I mean, he packed a knife.
Yeah, he did. He did. And he had Maharaja in his locker.
He had paraphernalia in his locker. A lot, too. I was like, he was smart. He had like 7 bags.
Yes.
Like, he's pulling all these bags out. So these kids they all get Saturday detention for one reason or another, which is all revealed as the film goes on.
Yeah.
One thing I will say about this film, it definitely is a touch after school, especially. You know, it's got
in a way it is, yes.
Especially when
they were huge at that time.
They were. That was hot back then.
Yeah.
It was super hot. Like So, but the thing I do love about the film is, although it does feel a little after school, especially, it definitely doesn't flow with the beats. These guys are smoking drugs.
Yeah.
You know, they're cussing up a store.
Yeah. And everyone hates their parents.
They all hate their parents.
And even in 16 Candles, it seemed like everybody hated their parents. Like Jake Ryan had to, or he wouldn't have allowed everything to happen at his house.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And Sam did because they forgot her birthday, if nothing else.
Nothing else.
And all the kids in the Breakfast Club hate their parents for one reason or another.
Yeah, one reason or another. I mean, and that's the beauty of it, because obviously this is a film. Looking at it today, it seems quite simple. But I imagine writing this movie in 1980, 3, 4, 5, whenever he wrote it.
Yeah.
I imagine it would be quite difficult to pen this script to perfection, because you were living in it then.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, this was all clicks. Like, of course there's always been clicks, but it really, look at like The Outsiders, okay? So you had the Socials and the Greasers back in the 60s. It was pretty much the only 2 cliques.
Yeah,
It was either you were with the rich preppy kids or you weren't. There wasn't no side in the middle stuff going on.
That's how it is in Rise of the Pink Ladies too, because like the origin of Grease, like it's like you're either one or the other.
Yeah, it's one or the other.
There's no in between.
Yeah.
There's no or this or that.
Yeah. Now there's in the Breakfast Club, that's starting to explore all these other things. You're starting to branch out into different types of people. Like, in the 80s, we can going back to music. Of course, they had a great 80s soundtrack, but the 80s also spawned a lot of good metal bands, a lot of more darker and heavier alternative.
Look, grunge came out of the 80s.
Yeah. Which obviously music has heavily influenced teens, fashion, things like that.
Yeah.
Shows. And the one chick, the chick with the dandruff.
Is her name actually Allison?
It was Allison in the movie.
Yeah, but Ali Sheedy plays her.
She plays her, yeah.
So I wonder if so maybe she was more like that character.
Maybe he wrote it, named her Allie.
Because she was in War Games, wasn't she? Like before that, yeah. Matthew Broderick and I think John Lithgow, maybe, and
he's great.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. Yeah.
This was before Matthew Broderick killed someone.
Oh yeah, because he
hit the people in the car, right?
Yeah. I don't remember. It would have. I think it was.
It had to be.
Yeah, because no one would have cared about Matthew Broderick before he was famous.
Yeah, before. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to say that.
I mean, true. Some dude hit some people in the car.
Yeah.
It happens every day. So, but yeah, I think the 80s was really. I think why the genre had such widespread appeal was because a lot of people were living that at the time. And it's like the beauty of the Breakfast Club is everyone, no matter who watches the film, you can associate yourself with one of the 5 characters or a couple of them.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like I was definitely a combo between like Emilio's character and Ali Sheed's character.
Yeah.
Because I was, you know, kind of like a weird punk rock dude, but at the same time I played sports, so I was an athlete.
But were you Ali Sheedy's character before or after her makeover? Okay.
That makeover was horrible.
Yeah, that's the worst part of the movie.
Yeah, and yo, I was talking to my friend about this the other day, and he was like, "Bro, I hate when they make her over." I'm like, "Yo, it's so bad.
It's the worst."
So many people are like, "It's the worst." She looked so much better before.
Yeah,
like,
and
really made her look weird.
And the problem is she's not like part of that like the Princess Declare group.
Yeah, she's not in that group.
So trying to make her even look like that, she looks out of place and awkward.
Very out of place and awkward. I thought she was super cute back in the day in that character. You know, I was like, she's adorable. Like, I probably would have went for a chick like her back in the day if it was me.
Yeah,
she was a little odd, but she was fun. She would have been someone to have fun with. Definitely would have went for Claire. Claire sucked.
Oh my god.
You know, let's go through the characters.
Okay, yes.
Right,
okay.
So we'll start with Claire, seeing as she's the face of the film. So you got Molly Ringwald playing Claire, who is the princess, as Judd Nelson called her.
Yeah, the preppy queen. Let's just call her.
Yeah. Preppy girl, bright colors. You know,
she's always wearing pink anyway.
Wearing pink. Yeah, I was like always wearing pink. She wears pink in all his movies.
Yes.
Weird.
Yeah.
But yeah. He loved her, man.
Yeah.
He loved her.
And,
like,
you know, she was one of the original girls in The Facts of Life in the first season.
Was she?
Yeah. And then they retooled it for the second season and made it just 4 main girls instead of like 9.
Probably better.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
Let's focus on honing it in a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot.
But I think that's what she first did, other than like maybe some stage work. Like if she was, I think she was one of the orphans in Annie. Like back in the late 70s. She probably could have. Yeah.
Well, is Molly Ringwald a good actress?
That's a great question. Because I know lately she's like Archie's mom in Riverdale. Mm-hmm. And she does the work of acting, but does that make her a good actress? That's a good question.
She's not that great.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she's bad. You've never watched her like, oh my God, Molly, get off the screen. You know,
no, but it's like, but when she's acting like, look at how like Judd Nelson as John Bender is like emoting.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He clearly was probably the best actor in the movie. As far as he gave the best performance at least.
And Emilio might be a close second.
Oh, I loved him. He was my favorite character.
And it's crazy to watch them like. So to see her on screen, and even Anthony Michael Hall, like,
I think he's a good actor.
I think Brian Johnson. I was trying to think of his character's name. Is probably one of his best characters because he, like, and one of his best scenes is like when he's just writing the thing that they read at the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
Because then he like takes the paper, he kisses it, punches himself on the arm because he loves what he wrote. And it's like because he's the only character who doesn't have a match.
Yeah.
And because everyone else is hooking up with someone else.
Yeah, that is true. He's the in-betweener. He's the little bridge. I just love when he's like, girls can't hold, they smoke.
Yeah. well, that's the voice he has in Weird Science too, when he's like drunk. And probably smoking too. Now that I think about it,
I'm like, it's funny. I'm like, you know, I liked him a lot. But so Claire, Claire's a popular girl. Now Claire is obviously, and it's, you know, when you deal with popularity, you're at the top of the food chain essentially. Yeah. So Claire is looking down on everyone in here. Even Emilio's character, she don't even look at him all like as one of her. Even though she does acknowledge later that they both have a certain type of friends that the others don't. I still don't even think she looked at Emilio like he was on her level of popularity.
Because he was an athlete.
He was a jock.
Yeah, he's a jock.
Like,
yeah,
he was a jock, and he had the freshest gear on with the blue Nike hoodie with the with the blue Nike tank under. He was fresh, man. I was like, yo, Emilio's like fresh, but her character, I think she was the worst out of the 5.
Yeah,
I'll put it like this: she was the one I would hang out with last.
Yeah,
That would be the last one I'm hanging with. Because she just was so superficial. And everything to her was about, she fed into the politics of high school to the max. And she's essentially like, well, I don't make the rules.
Well, it benefited her. That's why.
It benefited her.
Yeah.
You know, she was living life. She's like, oh. And of course, you know, Bender calls her out on it several times throughout the film. And,
yeah, because he couldn't. Maybe that's why it takes place on a Saturday in detention. None of these characters would be able to say this thing.
Monday through Friday.
Yeah. In school, you never get the chance.
It never.
Yeah.
Especially in depth this way.
Yes.
We're stuck here for 9 hours. We got to talk about something.
Yeah.
Like, in school, this may be a 5-minute discussion in the back of class or in the hallway. You know, it's not going to get you anywhere.
And even after school detention wouldn't have been as long of a period.
No. What is that, an hour?
Yeah, maybe.
You know, and then usually the teachers stick around for that.
Yeah.
You know, the principal's not all playing basketball and doing
that principal,
stuff.
Man,
He's
Richard. So he is Dick.
Yeah.
I forget his last name though, because it was on his thing, on his placard, on his thing.
Allen, was it?
I forget. Maybe it was Head.
What was it?
Dick Head.
What's his real name? Gleason?
Yeah, Paul Gleason.
Paul Gleason. That's right.
Yeah, Paul Gleason.
He's a great actor, though.
Yeah, he was in Die Hard.
Yeah. He was a good actor, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he plays one of the most iconic characters in American film history. That principal's been parodied tons of times.
Oh yeah,
He's
and
even played him again and other stuff.
And he was kind of a badass too, the way that he was like going at Bender because like he.
You're mine for the next 2 months.
and even when he locks him in that closet, he's like, "Go ahead, swing at me.
Swing at me. Yo.
I just need one hit."
What did he call him? He calls him a gutless turd.
He does, yeah. That is what he calls him. Yes.
I was like, bro, that's so G. Like, what administrator says that?
Yeah.
I love it.
And he was ready to beat the shit out of him.
He really was. I
mean, like he's fed up.
How much trouble he's put.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not like this is probably the 100th time, not the first.
Yeah.
You know,
He's tried and dealt with you a million times. Yeah. Whereas most of these other kids, probably a first, maybe a second offender.
Yeah,
you know? Especially, what's his name, Brian?
Yeah.
This is definitely his first time.
And even Andrew, the athlete, it was probably his first.
His first, you know.
Yeah.
And he's or he's probably been afforded the luxury of getting out of things because
he's an athlete. Yeah.
So
you get a pass.
You get a pass. Hey, I need you rested for Friday. You
know, you got to make weight.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Beast part of wrestling, man. I wrestled for a few years making weight. It's pain. It's the worst, man. It gives you a body complex at a young age.
Wow.
man, I would run with trash bags on, dude.
I remember wrestlers just like having cups they'd spit in just to lose the extra.
Dude, I would take laxatives, dude. Oh my God, it was terrible, man. I'd run around before. It was terrible. I hated wrestling. I liked it. I enjoyed the sport,
probably that.
I hated the prep.
Yeah. Like, and it's probably so much pressure just to.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a lot. But football, I love playing football. I even like practices and stuff like that just as much as the game.
Yeah.
But something about wrestling, man, the prep for wrestling I hated it.
So did you identify more with Emilio's character then because of probably what he has to go through psychologically just to...
I definitely identified with him in that aspect. But my personality definitely fit Allison more.
Yeah.
It definitely fit her more as far as my interest in things I was into. And I definitely... The crowd I rolled with was probably more the rebel crowd.
So more like the criminal.
I would definitely roll with the criminal. I wasn't doing crazy stuff. Like, I never got in trouble like that. Like, I think I only got in trouble in school. I can count on one hand. But I was slick. I knew exactly when to pull myself out of situations.
Okay.
But it's like, with Claire, though, she's the most unrelatable out of everyone. Because even if you were the popular person at school, you were in a small minority. You know, everyone can't be popular.
Yeah, exactly.
There was
because then no one would be popular.
No, exactly.
It's the syndrome thing from The Incredibles. If everyone's super, then no one is.
No one is. Exactly.
Yeah.
We're all tough. Yeah.
On the
same playing field, and that's the thing with popularity. We can't all be popular. A lot of people have those desires; they want to be popular, but it ain't gonna happen for everyone. And most people can't relate to that. Your average person you're going to meet on the streets, if you ask them about their high school experience, it was either bad to average.
Yeah.
Where you ask a popular person, I loved high school. It's like, well, yeah, because you were at the top of the food chain.
Yeah, exactly.
It was fun for you. You went to all the cool parties. You had the friends. People looked up to you. Teachers liked you, everything. So it's different for other people, and I think that's what makes Claire unlikable. And I do actually think Molly understood the assignment in this film probably better than any other film, because she knew I'm not supposed to be likable. Yeah, because I am this person that. Although the thing with popular kids, although they're popular, most people hate them to a degree. Yeah,
yeah, you know, because they're popular. Yeah, like, because they can be.
I'm envious of you to a degree, but I also admire you to a degree.
Yeah, like we allow them to treat us like garbage, so we hate them. But the fact that they can treat us like garbage, we're envious.
We're envious. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, yeah.
People, you know? It's like it's the same thing how we look at actors. We're like, man, we love what you do, but gosh darn it, man, you worked for 2 months and got $10 million.
Yeah,
you son of a gun.
And look, really quick, they're on strike now.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
which is crazy.
For what?
Need that to end.
Yeah, maybe it's just to help the writers get their stuff faster.
I need them to. I need all this to get cleared up because what we're getting lately, man, I ain't liking it.
Yeah,
That's a whole.
Yeah. I just read that today that the cast of Oppenheimer walked out of the premiere because the strike started at the premiere.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I know Nolan's like, guys.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that to Chris.
Didn't you already get paid to be here?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
I couldn't.
Promotion isn't acting.
It's a part of acting. It's a part of the game.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that to Nolan, man. I'd be like, if I was an actor, I'd be like, Chris, I'm with you, dog.
Yeah, like.
I'm with you. You put his heart, dude, like, put his heart and soul in that. You know he did.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, anyway, I'm sorry. Claire sucks.
Yeah, Claire does suck. But, I mean, she's necessary. And
yeah, because you need that dynamic to understand the other characters and how they relate to her.
That's what I'm like. Claire, although we could say Brian's the center, Claire kind of is too.
Brian's more. He is like the heart of it,
He's
though.
The heart.
Yeah.
But Claire's kind of the center because Claire's almost like the sun that everyone orbits around.
Yeah.
You know, that's the best way I can describe it.
Yeah.
Because even though, like Judd Nelson's character, he acts like he just can't stand her. He wants her in the worst way.
He does.
He wants that girl.
But she wants him too because he's the bad boy. He's the guy.
He's
okay.
The forbidden fruit. You
know? So this is gonna sound terrible, but because there's never any real minority characters in his films, does Bender kind of represent like I hate to say like the black guy that the white girl wants to date to piss her parents off?
Oh fuck yeah!
You know what I mean? Yeah. You know,
it's definitely. It's the same thing.
Yeah, because if he would have had that in the film, I'm sure people would have been upset. But you can see, kind of like how the old Twilight Zone show would do, like I almost said racist, racial type of situations in the stories, but through like a science fiction lens. With white people, so white people won't get offended.
Yeah.
Even though it was like the late 50s and early 60s, you could tell if you knew enough that he's like, oh my God, we're horribly racist, you know?
Yeah.
You know,
that is, I mean, I would say it's pretty much the modern day equivalent of that.
Yeah.
I'm going to piss off daddy.
Yes. Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, because no guy whose daughter's like that is gonna want her to bring him home.
Yeah, exactly.
You
exactly.
Bring home this greasy, slick, long-haired rebel kid with these rips in his pants.
Yeah, he's wearing flannel, ripped flannel,
smoking cigarettes, and smoking doobies, and
doobies.
Yeah,
yes.
Gotta use a term fitting for the time.
No, yeah.
Older than that, that's probably more 70s.
Yeah, the Doobie Brothers.
Hey, love the Doobie Brothers. Actually.
Yeah, man, Michael McDonald.
Yeah, man, I'm like Doobie Brothers. My mom likes them a lot, But yeah, it's definitely the same thing. I would say it's a similar thing. But Claire's character, I'd argue that although she sucks, she may have the most development out of them all.
She does, like her arc, like by the end.
She has the most to realize about herself and who she is.
Yeah, because even Brian's like, you're so conceited.
Yes, like all of them are they all kind of gang up on
her. They do. They do.
Like, yo, you and your friends suck.
Yeah.
Especially when they're all talking about the politics of high school, and she's basically saying, well, you guys just don't understand what it's like to have friends like mine. It's like, are these your friends though? Yeah,
because
you condone this.
Yeah, like you don't have to have them as your friends. Like, it's your choice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Like you condone this, and it's like, well, I didn't make the rules. I'm like, that's just as bad as watching some dude get beaten and being like, well, I know I didn't help, but I didn't beat him myself.
Yeah.
If you didn't do anything to help the guy,
Yeah.
the guy's still dead.
Yeah, exactly. You let it happen.
You let it happen. I'm like, you're partially responsible for
Yeah.
this, man. If I saw a guy out in the streets beating up little kids in the park, if I just walk by and not say anything, I'm just as bad as that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just as bad as that guy.
Now, those kids could have been assholes, though.
They could have, but there's still a grown man beating up little kids.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, so, yeah, I mean, Claire is actually, as much as she's not likable as a character, she may be the best written out of them all.
Yeah.
Because I think what she represented was obviously something that a lot of people would love to have.
Yeah.
And Molly definitely answered the assignment here. I think she understood exactly what they were going for. So we'll go into, you want to get into Bender next?
Yeah, probably, just because he's maybe the most complex character.
He's absolutely the most complex character, without a doubt.
And
he's the most layered, for
yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning of the film, he drives you insane.
Oh, he does. And he's the only one whose parents don't drop him off.
They don't, because they don't give a damn.
They don't give a damn.
And he pretty much, he loses that later. But, I mean, the beginning of the film, I'm like, God, well, he just shut up. And they are all the same way, like, bro, just shut your mouth.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I'm thinking this, I'm like, God, but you understand why he is the way he is.
Yeah, it's almost like he needs attention because his home life is so fucked up.
You know?
Yeah.
He layers it. John Hughes wrote him very well, too, because he's layered in very nicely as the film goes on.
Yeah.
And you understand him more and more and more as more things are revealed about each character. Because at first, like I said, I'd be like, they're looking out. We know why you're here. We get it. You're whatever.
Yeah.
But then as you learn more about him and you see how his home life is, and you're like, oh, man.
He probably prefers to be there.
Yeah. He's like, bro, being here with y'all, highlight of my day.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, he's never had the love that a parent gives their child, that gives them the confidence and gives them, essentially giving them the social skills to go out and be what people would consider normal. Yeah. So he's pretty much crying out for attention in any way that he can. Yeah. And, of course, when you're that age and you look, we all knew someone like that. Everyone knew the kid who had the troubled home life or the kid whose parents didn't care about him. We all knew that. And most of those kids acted very similar to him in school. Yeah. But then if you got to know them and know them as a person, you're like, dude, this is a sad case. Yeah, at the end of the day.
Yeah, you actually feel bad for him.
You do. I did by the end. I'm like, I feel for him. Why he wanted to hook up with Claire, though, I still don't understand.
Probably just, the notch on his belt.
The notch on his belt. But I don't know. I felt like he liked her, man.
I don't know because, maybe because she is so superficial and he isn't.
They're polar opposites.
Yeah, so maybe it's that yin-yang
They do say opposites attract.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I could see him being physically attracted to her, and I could see her being phically attracted to him, because it's like...
Because he's dangerous.
He's dangerous. He had the look. He's got he had the jean jacket, the long hair, all that. He had the look. But
he had the nostrils for cocaine.
He definitely...
the Marvin Gaye nostrils.
Yes, sir. And then he's looking at Molly like, oh, look at this angel in pink, and she's so pretty, probably smells nice, and
she would be like
angelic-like creature.
So like for her it's slumming, but for him it's like the idealized.
Oh yeah, he's like, I'm moving up in the world.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Like, yo, I got the trophy. I got the prize.
So is that fair to him though? In the end,
probably not.
No.
Yeah, Mike, probably not.
Because it is her. Because even he says like something about like wouldn't he be outstanding in respect to like her wanting to piss off her parents.
Yeah, he does.
Yes.
Bro, John Hughes definitely was like, I'm going to just...
Yeah.
He definitely just flipped that. I'm going to throw a little bit of that in, what you brought up earlier. But yeah, I mean, he's definitely, I mean, for him, it's all a plus for him.
Yeah.
It's all a plus.
Yeah, it's win-win for him.
She says it because she's like, yeah, well, even if we hooked up, you just go around and tell your friends, like, yeah, I hooked up with her. And they'd all think you were cool and, you and all this stuff. And for her, it's like, if she was seen with him, her friends would be like, can I talk to you? You know what I mean?
Well, I think Claire, though, in the Breakfast Club, she's like Jake in 16 Candles.
She is. She's essentially the Jake.
Because she says something like, don't you believe in love?
Mm-hmm.
like with one person, and because Bender has all those pictures in his wallet of all the girls. She's like, "Don't you believe in like loving just one person?" And he's like, "No."
Nope. But then again, that's got to factor into his upbringing.
Yeah.
That's got to factor because you can probably assume if he's still in a 2-parent household, you can probably assume that they probably don't show him the best relationship dynamic.
Yeah, I would assume not.
They probably don't give him a lot of love. So if you don't see that growing up, it's not something you really will desire.
Yeah, you're right, because you're going to emulate whatever example you're shown. And that's a discussion for another time, just about society, for not this podcast.
Yeah, no, but that might be a whole different
podcast. but you are correct. So like what he alluded to in his home life, it's abusive, it's isolationist. So cold, so all his relationships are going to be like that because that's all he's seen.
Yep. And he's probably never really taken the time to really get to know someone beyond the surface.
Yeah.
Because he was very judgmental of everyone based on their stereotypes.
Yeah.
And he might have been the most judgmental of everyone based on their stereotypes. More than even maybe Claire.
Yeah.
Because although, yes, Claire was judgmental, she still understood the game better than any of them.
Yes.
And so when you have an understanding of the game, you can be judgmental, but you're still going to have some empathy.
Yeah.
So he's definitely the most complicated, layered character out of all of them. And I mean, he is fun though.
He is. He's the one.
He brings the light to the film,
and he brings everyone else out of their shell because
he brings everyone out.
Because
had he not been there, everyone sat there dead silent
for 9 hours.
Not did anything.
Yeah, because everyone else like didn't want to be there. Everyone else, they thought they shouldn't have been there.
Yep.
And he's the only one who actually wanted to be there.
And he's like, and I deserve it too.
Yeah.
So
you're right. He probably has nothing better to do, and ended up he almost made like a surrogate family for what he doesn't have out of those kids.
He really did.
Yeah.
Because that's definitely what he did.
It's a little deeper.
It is a little deeper because I mean, at the end they all kind of look at each other like, bro.
Yeah.
It's almost like they took a psychedelic together and went to the other side of the world and came back. And
they kind of did.
The same. Yeah. They got stabbed to the bone.
Yeah. And the sad thing is, even at the end, he still leaves alone.
Yeah, he still.
No one picks him up.
But he does. Doesn't he get a kiss from Molly though?
He does. He gets her earring and a kiss.
Wait. Did she give it to him?
She puts it in his hand.
Does put it in his hand. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I'm like, did you steal it?
No,
he puts it in though.
Yeah.
I was looking fresh on him. I'm like, very. He looked. It was that was a call to the future because those like little stud earrings, little diamonds, got real popular.
Probably after the movie.
90s,
yeah.
In the 90s, there a lot of guys who rocking the studs.
Yeah.
I mean, they still rock them. Like,
yeah.
So, he does leave alone. I mean, he gets a little kiss, but we all know he's never going to be with her.
And isn't that terrible?
It's sad. It's sad, knowing that they both were feeling each other.
Yeah, and you know what? They could have hooked up in that closet. We don't know.
We don't know. But
and all that he has left is that the earring.
And and the sad thing is, let's not jump to that because the unknown is a whole topic for itself.
Okay.
So
we have the athlete.
Yep. So now we got the athlete.
Yeah,
Emilio.
His internal struggle is, trying to please his dad because his dad wants him to be the best. You got to be the best, number one. And he feels like number two.
Yep. And look, I played sports all growing up through school. Every sport I played, no matter whether it be little league, middle school, high school, every single team I've been on, there was a kid like that.
Really?
Was out to please his father. Father is at every game, every practice, screaming at him on the sidelines.
Wow.
Dude can ball out, go insane, still wasn't good enough.
Wow.
And we're all bro, you had an insane game. Nah, I'll tell it to my dad. Nah. Like, everyone, I've known, that's one thing I do love about the Breakfast Club. I know every one of these characters in somebody in real life.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, I've known the athlete like that who feels like you just went out, threw 5 touchdowns in a game in high school, insane numbers, and you still feel like a loser. You still feel like you didn't win. And Emilio's character, I liked his character a lot. He was actually my favorite character out of all of them. I liked his character a lot because he really wasn't the stereotypical jock that we typically see in high school movies. He wasn't a dumb jock. He wasn't an idiot. He wasn't this buffoony kind of, I don't know where that trope came from in films where like the athletes were just stupid and dumb.
I think that goes back to like probably the 30s and 40s.
Really?
Honestly, just because, if you watch older films where they have characters in college, like the athletes are always idiots.
Yeah, why?
I guess they just assume they're only there because of their athletic prowess rather than their brains.
Which is crazy because there's always been like the dumb football player stereotype. I'm like, you have to be smart to play football.
But then you have MASH and like all those surgeons played football in college.
Yeah. Because I'm like, football is hard.
Yeah.
Not as a physical, it's hard to understand.
Yeah.
Learning plays, X's, O's, all that. There's a lot to memorize, a lot to learn, especially for a quarterback, dude. You got to learn all these plays. It's a math. It's honestly, football is like a giant statistical problem.
So maybe MASH is the only film to really give athletes their due. Yeah, because look, these guys became doctors, and guess what? They were famous for playing football in college.
Yeah,
and then even for the time period, think about it. I hate to use his name, but his name in the film is Spear Chucker Jones. But he's a goddamn brain surgeon.
He is.
Yeah. But you look at that and you don't think about it because you think about his name and how terrible it is now, but how funny it would have been then. But the dude's a brain surgeon who is a professional football player.
Yeah.
But he's a goddamn brain surgeon.
Yeah. Which is nuts. Dude, I'm like, man. Football, I'm like, most football players I know, especially ones who played on offense, smart dudes. You gotta be. Football requires studying.
So,
you know what I mean?
So how smart do you think your man Tom Brady is?
Tom Brady's smart as hell.
Yeah, I believe
Tom Brady is very smart.
I honestly believe it because you can't look the way he does at his age and not know what you're doing.
Some stuff.
Yeah.
Know stuff other people don't.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm like,
Touchdown
Tommy is, I mean, in his craft, he's a genius in his craft. But I'm like, just as a guy, he's definitely smart, man.
Yeah.
He's definitely smart.
Sorry. Just a quick aside.
No,
but it goes back to Andy, as his character's name is. Andy, I forget his Clark. Andy Clark. Yep. It goes back to Andy Clark in The Breakfast Club because he has to be, because even at that time, like, you couldn't flunk your classes and be a good athlete.
You couldn't.
So he has like double the pressure.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. Like, and this is the 80s, man. This was like, and I'm sure, there was the teachers who would, give favorable treatment to the jocks, but there's a lot of teachers who were totally against that.
Yeah.
And so,
you
got it.
I'm sure the principal was, because he was just an asshole all around.
He's like, I hate everyone.
He's like, I hate myself most of all, but everyone else too.
I've been working here forever. It took me forever to get this $32,000 a year salary.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna, he was going crazy.
Yeah.
But like, he was honestly a very sensitive guy.
Yeah, Andy.
Very sensitive character. He was very in tune with the emotions. He was very emotionally aware of the people around him.
And he was very protective of the ladies.
Yes,
of the girls. Yeah.
Which
chivalry.
Yeah, chivalry. Which, you look at jocks now, you think they're
date rapists. I mean, I hate to say it.
We're not going to talk about
it's kind of a stereotype, though. But
now it's a stereotype.
Yeah.
Jocks are misogynistic.
Yeah.
Like, he was like almost an anti-jock.
Yes.
That'd be probably the best way to describe it. I mean, even when the principal's like, help me move this, when he's trying to prop the he's like, I expected more out of a varsity athlete.
A varsity letterman. Yeah, you're right, a varsity letterman.
I'm like, well, goddamn.
But it was his idea. It was the principal's idea, and you're blaming him.
Yeah, I'm like, this was a bad idea to begin with. Everyone
Yeah.
told you it was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Whatever. So yeah, I'm like, and you can see in his face even when he says that. Like that's why I think Emilio, honestly, is one of his best roles because you can see in his face like, here we go again. Somebody else doubting me.
Yeah.
And saying I'm not good enough. I hear this crap all the time.
Yeah.
And you can see, like, he felt very sad. He felt he felt quite depressed in the film.
Yeah.
Which is, he probably needed that stuff in Bender's locker.
Yeah, he probably did just to mellow out.
Mellow out a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
He had a great, Emilio in this movie has a great dance number as he smokes a giant doobie.
He does.
Yeah,
he does.
Great dance number. I
Yeah.
will say, John Hughes likes to throw in some fun dance numbers in his movies.
Yeah.
He definitely likes singing and dancing in his movies. Now I think about it.
Yeah.
Because all these films we're talking about, with the exception of 16 Candles, has.
But 16 Candles, don't they? Isn't there? They go to a high school dance.
Like,
yeah, so they are at a dance.
Yeah, like dance.
So I think it cuts the tension.
It does. It does. Like,
so.
But I do love the scene when they all smoke, though, because, you know, they all, like you said, Bender brought them all to their show. After they all got stoned, they loosened up.
Yeah.
Started talking to each other more, started joking around. That's when they got down to brass tacks and got to really know each other and stop, you know, pretty much just, like, I'm dealing with you for these 9 hours, and actually jumped in as like, hey, let's accomplish something here.
Yeah, and because after that is when... It's going to sound strange because they were high as hell, but they actually got lucid enough to be like, why are we all going to write this?
Yeah.
Because they had to write a 1,000-word essay.
Essay on, what was it on?
Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are?
I'd be like,
yeah.
I was different 5 minutes ago, so I don't know, man.
Yeah. I'm a teenager. I don't know who the hell I am.
I don't know. Yeah.
I'm still growing and developing. I don't even know.
No clue who I am.
Yeah.
But, and I love that they pretty much rebelled against the assignment, because the assignment, it is kind of like, how do you really want me to answer this? Like, you can answer this in 1,000,001 ways, and the next day, the paper would probably be irrelevant.
But it shows their paper that Brian ends up writing for them, and with the foreshadowing of him reading the exact same thing in the beginning, it shows how prejudiced the principal is against his own students.
Oh yeah.
Or how jaded he's become.
He has. And it's like, well, is that from years of dealing with all these little a-holes?
I believe it.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel like you will be conditioned to be a certain way if you're in a certain environment. You know, especially as you get older. You know, it just makes you grumpy. It makes you get less patient. You know, you're very patient with people. You're like...
And it's unfair to all those kids, though, because they might have character traits of all the assholes he knew before as principal and a teacher, because he even tells the janitor, you know, or the janitor's like, well, you started teaching here, what, like 32 years ago?
Yeah.
You know? So he starts out as teacher, works his way up, becomes a principal, but like everyone you met isn't necessarily these kids. You're stereotyping these kids based on your preconceived notions of who you've met in the past. Like, I think it was Dennis Miller who once said, why hate someone based on like their religion or the color of their skin when once you get to know them, there's so many more reasons to hate them.
Yeah.
So
that's facts.
Yeah, it is. And it's like, if he actually knew who these kids really were, he would either hate them less or hate them more, depending, you know? But it's unfair to just categorize them like the reason Brian, the brain, is there is because he wanted to try to kill himself.
Yeah, which is kind of like, I'm glad we got into
it.
Because I was like, because everyone's reasons, some are funny, some aren't. Like, Emilio's reason's funny with the guy with the hairy ass.
Yeah, he taped the guy's buns together.
Yeah, that's funny, you know. But then when you get into Brian's, you're like, oh, dang, bro, was that serious? So wasn't it wood shop?
It was a shop class. He had to make an elephant lamp.
Yeah.
Where you pull the trunk and the light goes on.
Yeah. He was like,
and the light didn't go on.
Yeah. It's like, and what does Bender say to him?
He's like, I take shop. He's like, any idiot could take shop.
He's like, you fail shop? That means you're smart. Like, shop was easy. Like, man, in middle school, I made this cool mirror for my mom out of wood, and I put like her initials in it and stuff. dude, a mindless monkey could have made that. You know, it's like, it was not hard at all. If you can cut some wood, use a sander, like, you know, you can make it.
Use a jigsaw.
Yeah, use a jigsaw, which is fun. You know, I don't know. I like shop class. It was fun. It's cool. This is all the bros. You know, you guys just
I never took it in high school, but in college I had a stagecraft class where we had to learn all that stuff. But it was about like building sets for plays and everything.
Oh, that's awesome. That's freaking cool.
So you learn how to paint too, so you can make something look like marble or look like whatever. And
nice.
Yeah.
Sweet. So all right. So since we jumped into Brian,
yes,
we'll go ahead and talk about him. So Brian, the nerd, the geek, the brain, whatever you want to call him. Which, I mean, unfortunately, Anthony Michael Hall, he was heavily typecasted like that.
Yeah, definitely. Until like Johnny Be Good.
So,
because then he was like, you know, he became the athlete in that one.
He did, which is great. You know, he got to work out, and then he was a dick in Edward Scissorhands, man.
He was, but super dick. He's kind of been. Then he was sort of typecast after that, I think.
Yeah. I mean, he's like, bro, I'm just going to ride a different typecast every day.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. He get paid to act. I'll take it. But
yeah.
I actually, this is one of my favorite roles from him ever. Because like I said, I like him in 16 Candles as well. I love him in Weird Science. And actually, I think he's a good actor.
Yeah.
I think he understands assignments very well and knows what character he's supposed to play. Because I think he was supposed to play Ducky originally.
Really?
But I think he turned it down because he was playing that type of character.
Yeah.
I think that is why.
Did he also want to play Ferris Bueller?
I think I heard
he
Ferris Bueller, which
I don't know if I could see him as Ferris.
I think Broderick was a good cast.
Yeah.
But Brian in the movie, he has some good development too, because he starts out very uptight and very like, let's do everything by the book.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, don't get out of your seats. He literally freezes.
Yeah.
He's about to slide over to
the other seat. Yeah.
And he's so like, oh, do everything right. And by the end, man, he's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
He's getting stoned. He's letting loose. He's talking about how he really feels. He opens up to them about himself, his life, and you know, the pressures he's going through. And he's like, you know, you guys think, oh, it's just so easy being a nerd and we're smart and everything comes easy. No, man, I was about to kill myself with was it a flare gun he said?
Yeah, he had a flare gun. And everyone laughs at him, and then he realizes how ridiculous it is.
It is.
But, like, that's probably the only gun he could find.
It's the only gun he could find. And it's ridiculous, but at the same time, it's quite depressing because this young kid was willing to take his own life because he failed a class he don't even care about.
Yeah, you know?
Like, you failing shop has nothing to do with your future. You're still going to go to college and graduate with good numbers. So
and that's the pressure from, like, his family, from society even.
Yeah.
Because I think with all of them, because the other girl, she just said she did nothing. She just had nothing better to do.
Yep.
So they never really go into it. And what did Claire do? I don't remember.
I cannot remember.
She doesn't say, I don't think.
I think, because she's real, like, secretive about it. But I feel like she does tell him.
I don't remember, and I just watched it.
Yeah, I'm like, I just watched it days ago. I think I watched it, was it Monday or Tuesday?
Yeah, it's more just the three guys that talk about it.
Talk about theirs, yeah. Well, the girl, remember she's like, I'm a compulsive liar.
Yes.
She's like, I pretty much lie about everything. And then, of course, Claire gets upset with her because she pretty much just tricked her into admitting something.
Yeah.
She gets mad, and they even call her out. They're like, don't get mad because she pretty much just got you to admit the truth. But I'm really drawing a blank here because I know they tease her about it for like the whole thing.
Oh, she does say.
I feel like she does reveal it in the end.
She skipped school to go shopping.
That
is what it was, yes.
She was embarrassed to say that.
Yes.
It seemed like such a stupid reason.
Yeah, it's almost like if they would have had to guess, they would have guessed that.
They probably would have guessed, yeah. And it's like, God, I wish it was something cool, like, you know, I got caught smoking in the girls' room.
Yeah, or a flare gun, or taping some chicks' buns together. And I don't know, did Bender say, he pulled the fire alarm, the principal says why. He pulled the fire alarm the day before.
And he you know, this was probably building up to, like we said, he probably did a whole bunch of stuff that eventually was going to land him here one way or another.
But he probably pulled the fire alarm knowing he was going to get in detention to get out of his house.
He's like, it's Saturday, I don't want to be home.
Yeah.
And that is probably why he did it.
Yeah.
And I like Brian, though, because although he was what they would call a nerd, he's definitely the kind of nerd you could kick it with.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
definitely a dude I would probably be friends with if I was in school. Because he's a nerd that, like, he wasn't a Poindexter,
Yes,
like,
yeah.
Oh,
he's not like a Revenge of the Nerds kind of nerd.
Yes, with the pocket protector and all that. He wasn't that.
Or Big Bang Theory kind of nerd. Yeah, I hate that show. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, you got what? Because you guys are comic book nerds. You're not nerds.
No, they're just
like
stereotypes,
cool
is all they are.
You're the cool nerds. Like, that's considered cool now. Like,
yeah.
So, yeah, if you read comic books now, that's like a turn on.
Yeah, it's weird.
You probably never thought in all.
No, I never did. I never did.
This would lead to an era where, like, you're the cool guy because you know about comic books.
Look, 30 years ago, no one cared.
No one cared, and now
no one
like,
cared.
Wow, it's all I hear about. It's crazy.
It's frustrating because I was either born too early.
Yep.
or
I'm like, I say that all the time. I'm like, man, I should have been born 10 years sooner. But he's a cool dude, though, because I think he actually connects with each individual person in there the best.
Yeah.
Because he is.
That's why he's the heart of it.
Yeah, he's the hearter. He's the heart. He's the floater. Because he's so smart, I feel like he can understand everyone. Understand their motivations and why they do the things that they do. And he's taking shops, so obviously, like, Judd Nelson's character, he can relate to him. Yeah. Because he's been around shop kids. Yeah, shop kid. And it's funny now that you say that. Look at all the stereotypical, like, Greaser adaptation. Look at Grease. Yeah. Like Grease the film itself. Yeah. Shop was always the leather jacket, pack of smokes rolled into the sleeve. The greasy jumpsuit. Yeah. It was always the stereotype in, like, 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s. Yeah. Which is funny. Because look, even Fonzie in Happy Days. Yeah, Fonzie in Happy Days. He would have been the greaser. He would have been the greaser. Yeah. That's that was definitely the trope. So it made sense that, Bender was in Shop and that, and now Brian's like, y'all actually kind of cool. Y'all do. Yeah, because Brian is sort of the crossover, I guess. He is. He's a crossover. Yeah. He's the middleman. Like, because he would know Andy academically. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's what I'm like, he knows. He's like, I know all you guys one way or another. Yeah. So he is a good character, and, like, I think he played the role well because I think he played up the nerd trope, but not too much to where it felt like too much of a stereotype. He still feels human. Yeah. And I like that because obviously, like we said, Revenge of the Nerds. Yeah. How often do you actually see nerds like that? You don't. Yeah, no. I never knew a nerd like that. Although, really quick about Revenge of the Nerds, Booger is the best character. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's all you can say because he's kind of like if John Bender from Breakfast Club was a nerd. Yes. That's who Booger is. Mm-hmm. My mom loved Booger. Yeah. Me and her used to watch Revenge of the Nerds 1 and 2 all the time. Yeah. But yeah, he's a great character. He's a good nerd archetype because he falls right in a realistic portrayal. Yeah, he's like a middle of the road because he can. I hate to say it could go either way because people might get the wrong idea nowadays. But, he can because he almost seems like if he wanted to, if he applied himself, he could be an athlete. Mm-hmm. And if he didn't apply himself, he could be a greaser. He could be a greaser. Yeah. Basically. That's a good example. All right, so now we got one left. Ferris Bueller. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. Two films. I'm sorry. The Freak. The Freak. Yeah. The Outcast. The Outcast, the Freak, which now in today's society, like we said, she'd be considered either emo or goth or alternative. Or I think alternative is a good word to use, so we're not putting too strong of a label on people. Yeah. But I loved her character. I thought she was funny. Yeah, because she was quiet through most of the film. She was very observant. Yes. She was looking around, like when they take the weed out of his locker. He doesn't lock it. She takes the lock. She steals. Yeah, she takes the lock. Yeah, but she says later on she's not a thief. She doesn't steal things. Yeah, but she's also a compulsive liar. Yes, so yes. She's fun because you never know what her intentions, motivations, anything really is throughout the whole thing. And sometimes when the other people are running through the hall, she's just standing there against the locker. Against the locker, just, doing chilling. Her thing, chilling. Yeah. And she actually reminds me of a girl I knew in high school who I was actually really good friends with. She reminds me of her a lot. And she was very similar, quiet girl, but very observant. Always noticed everything around. Always had a bag with a bunch of crap in it. Yeah. Just like she did. Yeah. She always carries as much crap in your bag. Oh, yeah. She had Bro,
she had a lot of
She had
stuff.
a lot of dough. She dumped that.
Yeah, look, she had like a whole box of tampons in there.
Bro, she had the whole CVS.
Because even Brian was like,
yo, I'm like, man, I'm like, yo, how long does this last for you?
yeah.
But yeah,
wow. Her rap name is Heavy Fluff.
Right. Yeah, you know, when she makes the sandwich with the sugar and all
yeah, because she throws off the lunch meat.
Throws off the lunch meat and
sticks
to the statue.
Yes.
Rolls off. What the hell kind of meat was that?
Oh, believe it or not, that looked like, I could be wrong, but it looked like
vegetable chunks in it.
Okay, when I was younger, around this time, and I used to love this. I obviously don't eat this now. Olive loaf was a thing. It was like whatever kind of meat. I want to say ham, but it's probably just meat, different meats put together with olives, and then you cut it so there's like olives in the middle of the meat.
That's definitely what it was, bro.
Yeah, I think it was olive loaf.
I've never seen that in real life.
Yeah, I don't know if they make it anymore.
Probably not.
It's probably
there's a reason
the FDA probably shut it down.
Bro, there's a reason she threw it on the top.
Yeah, because olive loaf, like I said, I loved it when I was a kid. Probably because there was nothing else.
Well, yeah, man. Look, kids I like Spam as a kid. Okay?
Oh yeah, I understand. See that Spam to you would have been olive loaf to me.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
I wouldn't eat Spam if you gave me $500 right now. I would eat one piece of Spam.
Yeah, because
yeah. But yeah, I mean, she was definitely different. Edgy.
Yeah,
she had the look, she had the attitude, but she was fun. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. For me, that would have been the type of chick I would have hung out with. I would have hung out with her, possibly even dated her.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was that would have been my flavor. I was just, I don't know. I was always a floater, man. I could hang with any crowd. Because like I said, I played sports, but I was also into nerd stuff. I skateboarded. I was heavily into music. So I was like a chameleon with everyone. You catch me Friday night, you might catch me at a party getting drunk. And then Saturday night, you catch me at the newest, Marvel release. So never, that's kind of how it was. So
yeah.
But I would have probably would have been gravitated to her more. I mean, look at Emilio's character; he gravitated to her.
Yeah, he did. But okay, my issue with that whole thing is, was he attracted to her before the makeover?
I think he was, but I think the makeover gave him the confidence to be like. I think he was attracted. I think it's one of those situations where it's like I'm in my head trying to tell myself something isn't true that is. Like he had the attraction, but he's like, no, I'm tripping. That's not real.
And then suddenly she's preppy, and he's like, oh,
no, it was real. I'm all for it. That is easily. I think that's everyone's least favorite part of the film.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. It didn't need to be added in. It actually would have been better if he would have went for her as how she was.
The only reason it makes sense, and I just thought of this just now, is because I think they kiss when they part at the end also.
They do.
And his dad looks at her as he pulls up.
Oh,
so his dad, his dad would be more accepting of her if she looked like that.
It would have been more fun for him to say, F you, Dad.
Yeah.
Look at this chick I'm talking to. I'm going to be me from now on, whether you like it or not. Although we know that's not how he would be. He's going to go back to being scared of Dad.
Of course, because his dad was kind of a big dude.
Yeah, I mean, his dad was probably a crazy athlete in school. So he's like, I got big shoes to fill. It's like if you're telling me, oh, Dom, you're Michael Jordan's son.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah.
I'm going to go make music or something.
I'm going to go play baseball because I have to be better than my dad at baseball if I'm Michael Jordan's son.
I can do that. That's a possibility.
It's not difficult to be better than Michael Jordan at baseball.
Yeah. Now, basketball.
No.
No. It's just not going to happen, man. So I mean, I get that. I get that why they did it. But I think it just would have been better for him to just for the moment to stick it to his dad. Because we know it's probably not going to stick forever.
Yeah, and she's not going to dress like that forever. She's not going to
go back to wearing black and,
She's going to go back to dressing like Lloyd Dobler from Say Anything.
Yeah, right.
That's kind of how she dressed, right?
The long coat.
Yeah.
She had the long frilly skirt.
Yeah.
I love her style, though. I really liked her.
Yeah, and it was a kind of an eclectic 80s post-punk.
Yes, it was like a post-punk, like kind of new wave.
Ish.
She had it was pretty much every like alternative music scene style blended into one.
Yeah, because think at the time you had like The Cure.
Yes, which is my favorite
and like
band of all time.
Joy Division.
Yes, all.
Do you like the song Fascination Street?
Oh my God, yes.
That's one of Felicia's favorite songs.
Oh my God, it's long, but it's great.
Yeah.
That's all.
I like Pictures of You.
Oh, that's all.
I'm sorry.
That's such a good song.
Yeah.
Bro. Okay, that
Yeah,
whole
sorry.
album, that's a front. I call albums like that front to back. You just let the first track play and just let it go all the way till it finishes. Pictures of You is so good, man. It's such a sweet song, but sad
and depressing. Yeah.
It like picks you up and kicks you down, and you're just like empty after you listen to it. But you're like, God, it was so beautiful at the same time.
Yeah,
dude, Robert Smith was just. He was the man. He was the man. Anyway,
but I think that's her style of the time, like those types of bands.
Those types of bands.
Yeah,
fit in with like the new wave.
Yeah, Echo and the Bunnymen.
Yeah. The Smiths.
The Smiths. Yes.
Like yeah, she would have fit right in with that.
Yeah.
Another great band. Don't get me started on that era of music. That's one of my favorites. We're not just gonna skip over.
So you love like those kinds of British bands, though?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. I'm a weird dude.
Just really quick, how do you feel about like Ziggy Stardust era Bowie?
Oh, bro! Remember I told you I love Ziggy Stardust.
Yeah, thank God.
Oh,
I've been listening to the album again,
dude,
and I'm like,
so good.
It's Mick Ronson on guitar is just the best. Yeah,
that's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, man.
Oh, Bowie was all right. Guys, if you want, one day we'll do a music episode.
Yeah, we should.
We should, because we like a lot of the same.
We do.
Stuff for sure.
We do.
Yeah. All right. So
yeah, sorry, I've just been getting into it lately because I watched that Wham documentary.
Oh my God!
Did you watch it?
No, but
it's on Netflix. It's because I love George Michael. Listen Without Prejudice Volume 1 is an amazing album.
Yeah. Oh
and Freedom 90 is probably one of my favorite songs, if not my favorite. But like hearing like his story, like how they became famous, amazing.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah.
I was watching the freaking American Gladiators documentary.
Really? Oh my God, I used to watch that show all the time. Yeah.
So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Are there steroids involved? That's all I need to know. Are there?
So I was like, when I put on the first episode, I was like, I just can't wait till they start talking about them roiding up. Yeah, it was a lot of steroids.
I mean, they looked like they were.
Dude, they show in the documentary like the transformation between year 1 and year 3 and how big they all got.
Yeah.
They're like, bro.
Look at Laser.
They're like, they were like, Laser put on like 30 pounds of pure muscle in like 2 years.
Wow.
And I was like, yo, Laser's chest, bro. Laser and Nitro.
That's right, Nitro.
Look like blocks that you could just eat off of. Like,
so like a charcuterie board.
Yeah, bro, yes.
Let me get my meat and cheese and just put them on there.
It's insane.
Wow.
But anywho, guys, sorry,
sorry.
So the film wraps up, I think, rather nicely because, and the main question they ask is, where do we all kind of go from here?
And they ask it themselves.
Yeah, they ask it. I'm like, they actually ask it, which I love.
Yeah.
Because obviously, the thing that makes this great about it being a 9-hour session is you're so invested for this time.
Yeah.
Because you're like, all this is happening right now, and you want to know what's going to happen right then and there. You're like, I just wish we could just skip Sunday, and I just want to get a quick glimpse in the hallway on Monday.
Yeah.
Morning,
to see if anything changes.
If maybe, Amelia would nod up Anthony Hall. Like,
it
was good,
Yeah.
Seeing you, because that would be interesting. Because a lot of shows and movies have parodied Breakfast Club. A Canadian teen soap opera called Degrassi.
Oh, one of Kevin Smith's favorite shows.
Yes, and he did a whole season.
Yeah, because he and Silent Bob are
Season. It's actually really funny. But it's actually quite well written. It's Kevin Smith.
Yeah, and he loves the show, so it would be
which is funny. It's so funny. He loves this show. I love that show too. But
you're just a Drake fan, whatever.
Yeah, I just love Drake. I mean, I will say, when he came out with his music, he started rapping on the show.
Oh, really?
And I was like, wow, he's like, whoever this is doing this raps for Jimmy Brooks is really good. I was like, I wonder where they found this guy. And come to find out, it's actually him. I'm like, wait, he's actually that good? And then he left the show, and the next thing you know, he's dropping music. I'm like, this guy is freaking good. I'm like, holy hell. So, interesting. But, no, the show is great. But they do a parody of the episode. And Drake is involved.
Oh, really?
And, of course, they all fit the stereotypes. It's perfect. There's a black girl in there. Her name's Hazel. She's like the popular girl. There's a nerd on there. His name's Toby. He's like the nerdy guy. Drake's supposed to be kind of
the wheelchair guy.
Well, at the time, he still was walking on two.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
So he was an athlete. He was a basketball player.
Okay.
So he was an athlete. There's a character named Sean. He played the rival. There's a character named Ellie who played the edgy girl. So... And they do similar stuff. They go through the school. They end up going on the roof. And they get to know each other. They all hate each other. But the thing is, they don't necessarily hate each other. Because you watch the show, so they all know each other, But in this one episode, they really do play it up like we're all so different. But they do show the aftermath of them going back to school. And they are all like, hey, what's good? Walking through the halls, dapping up, shaking hands. And everyone around them is like, what the hell went on here on Saturday, dude?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, I would just love to see. I think it's good they ended the movie where they did. I think it's good. I wouldn't have changed it, but it would just be cool if John Hughes was like, I'm gonna make like a 20-minute short film.
Well, but then you get to write what happens later yourself,
and it makes for good discussions like the one we're having.
Yeah,
because. If you ask me,
what do you think happened?
I'm personally gonna say they all went back to being exactly how they were. I think they all are changed as people. Yeah. I don't see them exploring those friendships much deeper. Because
I think we know it's March, because it takes place like March 23rd, 1984 or something. Yeah. So I wonder if they're all seniors. I think... You know what I mean? Even though Anthony Michael Hall looks younger.
I was going to say, if anyone's not a senior, it would be Anthony Michael Hall.
Yeah.
I would argue maybe Claire not, too. She just seems young.
But if they were, like... They would only have a couple months, and then
they say, hey, we're all going our separate ways anyway.
Yeah. They don't have the constraints of the high school politics, so they could actually hang out unencumbered by the social whatever.
Yeah, I feel like it would be a situation where it's like, if I see you in the hall, I'm going to give you a nod.
Yeah.
I'm going to acknowledge you.
I think Andy would do that, though.
I think Andy would, too.
Yeah.
If any two became friends, I think it would be Andy and Brian.
And Brian, yeah.
I can see them actually being friends. Yeah. I'm telling you right now, Claire's not going to... The way she is not going to let her get past how Bender is and who he is. That was a Saturday only.
Yeah. If nothing else... At least Bender would be their drug hookup.
Yeah, if you need some trees.
Yeah,
Snoop did sell weed to Cameron Diaz.
Really?
Yeah, back in
wow.
He was her weed band back in the day.
Wow.
When they were teenagers.
Wow.
I was like, that's so funny. It's like, how does that happen?
That's crazy.
Right? How does that happen? So, he. Because they even bring it up. She's like, why don't you go smoke with Brian out in the parking lot, or go smoke with Andy, or go hang out with them, when they were criticizing her.
Yeah.
And, they all are guilty of the same thing.
Yeah. They're all prejudiced against each other because of how the hierarchy is set up in the school. Mm-hmm. And so I guess in a way the movie is more about an indictment of the way the teenagers in their most formative years get stuck in these kind of situations that end up defining where they go after that.
Yeah. Breaking these down, John Hughes might be a little better than we even realized.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, Breakfast Club, man, when I watched the other day, I was like, I do like this movie a lot. I was like,
yeah.
Now I'm thinking about, Breakfast Club, it might be a bona fide classic, man. It's good. I'm overall grade, I'm going to give Breakfast Club an A. I'm going to give it an A.
Yeah, I would have to as well, just because.
After our breakdown, I feel like, how could I not?
Yeah, because it says so much about society through high school, and like I just said, I just thought of it as we were talking, how it propels you after that.
Yeah.
Where you fall in high school is sort of where you're going to fall
set you
after.
up for life.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's like, and you get it through a lens that everyone has gone through in their whole life.
Yeah.
If you're 25 years old watching The Breakfast Club, you've had those same glasses those kids had on in the film.
Yeah.
And I think that's why high school movies resonate with so many people, even if it's not their particular cup of tea, because we all been there.
Yeah, some form of it is relatable.
Yep,
some part of it.
I'm like,
yeah,
we've all been there, one way or another. Yeah, man. So what are you giving? What letter grade?
I would say an A also, just because of all those reasons and more. Because I'm sure there's more things that we'll think of later.
Yeah, I'm like, watch, you'll text me, or I'll text you, like, bro, I didn't,
Yeah.
I was just thinking because
look, even it starts off with a quote from "Changes" by David Bowie.
Changes.
Yeah.
God, Bowie was.
And those children that you spit upon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yo, and I caught that when I put on there. I was like, is that Bowie? I'm like,
and it's like, when he's working out the Ziggy Stardust persona is when Changes came out, like right before the Rise and Fall. Yeah.
I had that shirt, man.
Really?
Yeah, back in middle school, I had it.
Wow.
I wish I still did. I let my sister take it from me.
Wow.
Terrible mistake.
Is that the hand motion you just did? Is that the cover to like Lodger or Station to Station or Heroes?
It's
Heroes. Mm-hmm. Because I want to show you something then.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to. Actually, I might pause this for a second because I want to show you something. Hold on.
All right.
Anyway, sorry, I just had to nerd out for a second.
I had to nerd out. If you guys haven't realized by now, two giant nerds, giant. And you put two giant nerds in a room, it's a nerd fest.
It is a nerd fest.
Two.
Yeah.
It's a nerd fest when I'm by myself, but let alone add in another. So.
Yeah.
But so let's jump into Ferris Bueller.
Yes.
So Ferris Bueller. Obviously, everyone knows what Ferris Bueller's Day Off is. It's a film most people have seen. Ferris Bueller, a funny, kind of quirky, witty, very smart, slick kid, wants to have a freaking day off from school. How can you expect me to go to school on a day like today?
Yeah, it's a beautiful day.
Yeah. So, and Ferris Bueller, what's great about Ferris Bueller is every single person on this planet has thought about having a Ferris Bueller type of day at some point in school.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, everyone has probably, especially after seeing this film. Mm-hmm. Everyone's like, this is the kind of thing that I want. Yes.
Is it a new clip?
Yes.
Okay.
So we'll just.
I can blend it.
Yeah. Okay. I realized I probably hit the wrong button.
No, it's cool. I just want to make sure.
Yeah. We'll have to blend them.
Boom. That's fine with me.
Okay. Right. Yeah. So especially after seeing this film, because it showed you almost the epitome of utilizing a sick day at school or work. I mean, depending on your preference. Yeah.
I'm like, this could easily fall into a work situation.
And
it probably falls more into work situations for most people.
Yeah. And Ferris, he's, I mean, we were kind of talking about it before we started recording today. Like, I see him as like an amalgam of all the characters from The Breakfast Club, because he's a nerd, because he's like a computer genius with all the stuff he's doing. He's a jock because he's running, like I said, like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible.
He got some athletic ability.
He's obviously a brain. He's kind of a princess if you think about it.
Yeah.
Because he's popular.
He's popular.
Everybody loves Ferris.
They knew him, and he had that attitude that we all knew a guy like that. Super charismatic, slick with his words, could talk to anybody.
Yes.
Ferris was that guy.
Yeah.
But kind of like me, he was very diplomatic. He could run in between the crowds seamlessly.
Yeah.
And I think that's the beauty of Ferris as a character. And I think what you just said makes a lot of sense as far as, he's a combination of pretty much every single character in The Breakfast Club. And probably the best of them all.
I think he is. I believe John Hughes took all those characters and made the one guy that would represent everybody, because Cameron is sort of your everyman.
He is an everyman.
And Ferris is like what every man wants to be. It's sort of,
Yep.
in a way, it's almost like Cameron would be the narrator and Ferris would be Tyler Durden.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it. Because, and just like Tyler says in Fight Club, oh, I shouldn't have said the title.
Yeah, that's right. We can't really talk about it.
Just like Tyler says in the thing we can't talk about, he's like, you want to be like me, you want to look like me, you want to fuck like me, you want to do all that just like me. And in a way, he probably is like, God, I wish I had what Ferris has.
Yeah.
And which is probably why he hung out with him. Maybe
Yeah.
some of that will rub off on me. Because clearly, Ferris annoyed the hell out of him.
Yo, yeah.
And
But Ferris would push him to do things that he wouldn't normally do on his own.
All the time,
Yeah.
Which you need that kind of friend sometimes.
And Ferris, I realized watching it again, he, as selfish as he seems, he's really unselfish.
I agree.
Because he did everything that day so Cameron had a good day.
Yes, he was very concerned with Cameron's day.
Yeah.
Although it got effed in the end.
Yeah.
He was very concerned with Cameron's day.
Yeah.
And he wanted him and the chick to have a good time that day.
Yeah.
You know? And he showed him a good time, bro.
He did. That's what he was there for. He was there to, like, because he knew school was ending.
Mm-hmm.
And they were going to go their separate ways.
And I think he knew, like, Cameron's my boy. I love him. I want this kid to, when he leaves me, I want this kid to have a great memory of me. And I want him to be a slightly changed person for the better because of me.
And to see, because obviously Cameron's a hypochondriac.
Yeah.
He has a twisted home life, as Ferris says. You know, I think Ferris is the one character in these films that doesn't hate his parents.
He doesn't, yeah.
He actually,
good parents.
Yeah, and he actually loves them.
Parents.
Yeah, because they love him.
Yeah,
unconditionally.
And his mom was dope. She was riding for. My mom would have been the same way. Oh, he didn't play sick that many times. She was riding for. Oh, I believe him. She was riding for him. I'm like, he had good parents. Yeah, you know what? You're right. All these films, out of the 4 films we're talking about, there's a bad home dynamic in pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
You know? And some worse than others.
Yeah.
But Ferris did like his parents.
Yeah.
And Cameron had the typical rich, never there.
Like,
I pay no attention to my kid type of parents.
And that's what annoyed a lot of these kids in these films. Like, the parents had no time for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And yeah, it's weird because Ferris, like, all his parents, his mom even came home during the day to check on him.
Yep, she came home, and know, of course he had his sweet little contraption.
Yes.
That's one thing I really like about this film too, is just a lot of detail into all his little tricks and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm wondering if John Hughes wrote all that stuff in himself.
He must have, because he also wrote Home Alone.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Contraption City.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh,
Chris,
around December, we'll do a Home Alone episode.
Yeah, okay.
We'll just do some Christmas movie episodes.
Yeah.
Because I love Home Alone so much. Joe Pesci, man.
Because there's a lot of good Christmas films. I'm not going to say like Home Alone, but like how they're Christmas adjacent, I'll say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Home Alone isn't really about Christmas.
No, it's about
really
holidays.
Set in Christmas time.
Yeah.
Just like the Weapon's set in Christmas time. Die Hard.
Yeah, Die Hard,
you know, but they're not really about
The Princess Bride.
Princess Bride, yeah. I mean, hell, Fanny and Alexander, a great Swedish film from Ingmar Bergman.
Yeah.
After a movie set at Christmas time. So apparently in Sweden, it's a tradition that Swedish people watch that movie every single year.
Really?
Christmas. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
It's that good.
Bro.
You were talking about it last week.
Bro.
You did say, because it's a period piece, right?
It is a period piece, bro. It's a top 5 movie. Bro, I think this is just my opinion. I've heard other people say this, but this is just my opinion. I've seen it like 3 times now. Every time I watch it, I love it more and more. But after the first time I watched it, I was like, this is one of the best movies ever made.
Wow.
No question. I was like, I was so sad when it ended. I was like, I know I've been watching a film for over 3 hours, but can I get another hour of this? I did not want to leave that world. I didn't want to leave that world.
That's how we felt after Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Like this.
Spider-Man.
This is horrifying because it ended.
Yeah, I was like, bro, and I'm like, I've been talking about that movie so much too, is I'm like, guys, I think we only got to wait but another year before we get the next one. I'm feeling like a drug addict scratching my neck.
I know some people are saying it might not be out when they say it because
look what they did to us this time.
I know. So it's
I've never been so excited for the next entry of a film immediately after I watched that.
Yeah, like they could have just kept playing it, and I would have been like, "This is perfect."
Yeah, see the beauty of seeing Star Wars when I first did it. I was like, I watched Empire. I was like, and I could put Return of the Jedi
right
after.
Yeah,
right? So
yeah.
I have to wait.
When I was a kid, there was a 3-year wait.
Yeah, yes, that's I don't know how people did it.
Probably the longest 3 years ever.
Yeah, this time from Across the Spider-Verse till it comes out, it's gonna feel like forever. Because right now, to me, it's the only film this year that I think is like up there. Like it's the only one, and I enjoyed some films that came out this year, but Across the Spider-Verse is the one so far.
Well, next week, I know you're gonna watch The Flash.
Yeah,
because it comes out digitally, so it'll be available. So I want to know what you think about it because it's sort of, I'll say multiverse, whatever, but it's a unique take on it and a unique story. So I'd like to know what you think. I know it's not going to have the same impact as Across the Spider-Verse because I don't think anything will. Nothing will because that film honestly probably blew everything out of the water. Yeah. But I really want to know what you think about The Flash because I know you're an Ezra Miller fan.
Oh, yeah.
You're a Michael Keaton fan.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
Ben Affleck fan.
You're a Ben Affleck fan. You're a Michael Shannon fan.
Yeah, I like everybody involved in this picture.
Yeah, so I want to know what you think as to what they do and how they handle their roles.
All right.
So I'm excited for that.
All right, bet.
Yeah. And anyway, sorry.
We get a little sidetrack. So Ferris,
yes.
I don't know how we got to that.
I'm not even sure either, but
we're talking about contraptions and stuff.
Oh, yes.
Ferris, Ferris is slick. He's got all this cool stuff. His room is super cool. It's the typical dope teenage room.
He even has, I think, a poster of the Smiths.
He does.
Yes.
He does. I'm like, he's got some posters up in there.
Yeah.
And like we said, Ferris is a happy child.
Ferris
isn't depressed.
He loves his life.
He loves his life. He does.
Yeah.
And he loves his life so much that he feels like, I deserve to have a nice day and do what I want.
Yeah.
And I think unlike all the other John Hughes films, I feel like he made this film with the sole purpose of you just having a good time with Ferris.
Yes. You're right there with them.
You're right there with them.
And that's probably why the breaking of the fourth wall.
Yes.
That way you feel like you're there with him.
Bro. Yeah. It's like, I'm here with you. That's a good point.
Because even no one else breaks the fourth wall until the very end with Ed Rooney, the principal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think when he's sitting in the seat, he just looks at the camera for the first time because of that girl sitting next to him.
Yep.
And it's like, wow, even he knows that there's people watching him and how terrible it looks.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Rooney's a great villain, though, because, you've never seen a principal go to this length to catch a guy playing hooky.
No, not at all.
Especially when the parents are on board. Usually when the parents are on board, it's usually, whatever, it's your education,
Yeah.
But he was determined to catch this man.
He was. And so was his sister, though, Jeannie.
Yeah, at first.
And, one of the most brilliant parts in this film, and I love it every time I see it, he's dancing, Ferris is dancing in his room to the theme of I Dream of Jeannie. And the next scene, he cuts to someone yelling his sister's name at the school.
Yep.
And what's his sister's name? Jeannie.
Yeah.
It's playing I Dream of Jeannie, and then they're like, Jeannie.
It's slick editing.
Oh my God, I love it.
Earlier, that's really good editing.
Yeah, it's
slick.
It just blows my mind every time I see it.
Yo, that's the chick from Dirty Dancing, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, yeah. Pre nose job, Jennifer Grey.
God, she really shot her career, huh?
She kind of did because she didn't look bad at all.
She didn't. I was like, you were fine. And then after the nose job, it's like she stopped getting roles.
Yeah.
Like, you were in Dirty Dancing, dude. That movie made what, 300-400 million?
She was
crazy, probably.
She was crazy for Swayze.
She was. Who was it?
You know what? Johnny was right. Nobody puts baby in a corner because a nose job is not nobody.
Yep. Hey.
Or maybe it would be nobody. Because it's not a person. It's a nose job.
Yeah, it's a nose job.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
But that's funny, actually.
Sorry, it was long-winded, but
yeah, but I mean, I think Ferris. It's a fun film. I think its themes are light and fun.
yeah,
You know, I think to me, Ferris is just about appreciating life, really, and taking everything it has to offer in. You know,
Yeah.
that's kind of what I take away from Ferris, because like we break down 16 Candles in Breakfast Club, we could break them down.
I posted that the other day. Sorry, I just wanted to show you.
Oh, maybe you should send me that. I'll edit it into this.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, but I think like we broke down 16 in Breakfast Club. We had tons of themes going on in it. A lot of stuff that's actually pretty layered through. Where
Ferris is just about fun, right?
fun.
It's about having
It's a
fun.
fun movie. It's about having fun, letting loose,
And loving Chicago.
and loving Chicago. I do love Ferris. I think Ferris is the best use of the city of Chicago.
Yes.
Out of all these films.
The city is the main character.
Yeah. I'm like, the parade scene?
Yeah.
Bro, one of the most iconic, dance, singing song ever. Like,
Yeah.
there's still dudes dressing up with the leopard vests and stuff for
Really?
Halloween. I see it all every year.
Wow.
Dudes dressing up.
It's the Abe Froman outfit.
Yeah. Nike's made a Ferris Bueller edition sneaker, and it's got the patterns of the outfit.
Wow.
Yeah, they're really expensive now.
I believe it.
They only made a certain
Like a
amount.
limited.
Yeah.
Wow.
They were awesome though. I was like, man, I would love to get these, and I saw the price. I was like, I guess I wouldn't. But, yeah, but it's like that outfit's iconic. That scene is iconic.
Yeah.
Like they do show Chicago in a beautiful light, and it's a beautiful day. Like he said, it's a gorgeous day because Chicago in the spring and summer is awesome, man. It's awesome. It's fun. Winter, put your gloves and your hats on, but
Well, it's spring, I guess, when the movie takes place. So
they are still in school.
Yeah,
so
and it's during baseball season.
Baseball season.
Yeah.
And you're near, and he said a couple months we're going away. So your guess is probably March, maybe.
Yeah.
March, maybe early April. So I think it's just a culmination of fun. It's just I think John Hughes was like, I just want to make a movie that everybody can laugh with, have some iconic ass scenes in it. People are going to talk about for a long time. And I mean, you made a star out of Matthew Broderick.
Yeah, he did. Because he was in, I think, Max Dugan Returns and the Manhattan Project before that, but he was mostly known for like Broadway stuff.
Yeah,
he's still known for it, but I mean at the time.
When was Biloxi Blues?
That was 87.
That was 87.
It was like the year after.
Okay,
yeah.
So I mean, he did start going because then Glory came out soon.
Oh yeah, that was like 89.
Yeah, Glory. So
and we love him in Election.
Yeah,
yeah.
God, I was literally telling my sister about Election today.
Wow.
Like, I was like, it's an offbeat, weird movie, but you need to watch it.
Incredible. Alexander Payne?
Yes. Bro.
I just started watching, there's a show on Netflix, because Sandra Oh is his ex-wife, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
She's in some show, Felicia was showing me the other day, called The Chair, where she becomes the chair of an English department at a university. I think Amanda Peet co-created the show.
Pretty good?
Yeah, it's actually not bad. I watched a couple episodes with her, and I'm like, I could keep watching this.
Keep watching that.
Yeah,
it's good. It's always good. I mean,
Sandra Oh is good in anything she does.
Yeah.
And, the other guy who stars in it, I don't know if I've seen him in anything before, but he's pretty good. Kind of like this aloof professor, but he's good at being aloof.
Well, hey, sometimes that's hard to pull off.
Yeah. And a couple like older actors, but it's different because it seems like it's from the faculty's perspective.
Yeah.
So
it's always fun.
Yeah, it's a college show from the perspective of faculty, so I find that interesting.
Which is cool because you usually get faculty perspectives from high school. You rarely get it from college.
Yeah.
Get it from college.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, you had a great performance though out of Matthew. Speaking of Election though.
Oh yeah.
Reese Witherspoon. It's her best role ever.
It's illegible.
I can't even read this.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even think she pronounced it right, but the way she does it just so quickly.
She does it quick. It makes you feel like what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
She's like, half these kids are burnouts.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
You're making me want to watch that tonight. I have it on Criterion, bro.
And look, man, one of the best scenes is when the dude is like falling. I guess that they show him with the skiing accident, right?
Oh my God.
And it's like two different scenes. You can tell it's like stock footage.
Which,
and
of course, like, what are you going to film a guy getting extremely injured on the
side? No, you're not. But it's great. It's so good. Because it's like apples and oranges. I like bananas, too. Exactly.
But I also like bananas.
Yeah, exactly. Try to explain politics to him.
Yes.
Oh, my God. To an idiot. No. But he's the dumb jock.
He is the epitome of a dumb jock. But he was sweet.
Yeah, Chris Klein's first role.
Yeah, was that his first role?
Because I think it was before American Pie. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
He had a great 99.
He did, man.
He had a great 99.
Yeah.
Those are two great films to be in.
Yeah.
Two of the best high school movies ever.
Especially for, like, your first films.
Right? Yeah. Like,
yeah.
And people were like, who is this guy? Who's big, handsome?
Yeah.
You know? Like,
just call him Oz because he was Oz Striker, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
He said, you can call me Oz if you want. She said, what's your middle name? He said, forget it. God, I love that movie, too.
Yeah.
You know, people have been trying to hate on American Pie lately.
Really?
Saying it's like, they're like, oh, it's too graphic and it's too this and offensive and this and that and misogynistic and all that. I'm like, man, it fit the times. It fit the time.
But at the same time, like, is it any different than like 16 Candles?
No,
yeah.
I don't think so. But apparently people have problems with 16 Candles.
Yeah.
Everyone's so damn sensitive now.
Yeah, it's like, just appreciate it for what it was. It was 1999.
99, man.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah, people thought the world was going to end in 2000.
Yeah, cause another thing, like, oh, well, there's homophobic jokes in it. I'm like, guys, that was normal back then. It was just like, listen, I'm a black dude telling you, I wouldn't be shocked if someone called me the N-word in the 50s, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I hate to say it, but yeah, you're right. I'm
not going to be shocked. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's okay, but it was a reflection of the times. You know?
Yeah, so, yeah, what do you expect? Like... And you got to think about, like, the types of characters portrayed in the film. So, like, you know, you have, like, the jock, you have some nerds, but they're all friends at this point.
Friends, yeah.
So it's almost like the progression from the Breakfast Club.
Yes. Now that, you know what?
All those stereotypes are actually friends.
It was kind of like the starting point. American Pie era would have been the starting point of the intermingling of cliques. Because now, like, if you watch a movie like 21 Jump Street, where they go back into high school and they see how different it is. Like, because there's this one scene where Channing Tatum's like, okay, those are nerds. Okay, those are goths. Okay, well, what are those? Okay, well, what are those? Because there's all these new cliques and all these people. And he's like, wait a minute. So the popular kids are like kids that care about the environment and play acoustic guitar? I don't understand. It's like, it's different. Like, like American Pie would have been kind of the middle benchmark.
Yeah.
To progress to something like that. So,
and it also like reset the standard because it brought more of like the Animal House kind of aesthetic or whatever.
Party boy
to the teen comedy.
Mm-hmm. Which they were still nerds because like in Animal House, they were kind of they were the nerds. They were nerds, but they were like the nerds you definitely wanted to know.
Yeah, the party animal nerds.
Party animal nerds.
Yeah, because you had
what was the name of the dude who ran everything? The slick dude. He always had the little.
Oh my God, Otter.
Otter. I was like,
that was his movie.
Animal. Yeah,
Otter.
He was cool.
Yeah,
the guy anybody would have wanted to.
Because you had Bluto.
Yeah, Bluto.
It was like the most famous character in the film, but it was Otter's movie.
Yeah, with his
I love Tim Matheson as Otter, man.
Yeah, he was great.
Incredible.
He was great.
Incredible.
Now I'm gonna have to watch. I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah.
I was going through some old DVDs and I was like, oh yes, I do have Animal House.
That used to be. My son Evan, it used to be his favorite movie.
I mean, it was definitely. I used to watch it all the time.
Yeah,
when I was like 7. You know?
I think I gave it to him when he was like 9.
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
which sounds terrible, but
I guess it did. But you know what? Looking back on Animal House, it's really not that bad.
No,
some stuff that comes out.
No, the stuff that came later had to escalate.
Yeah, I'm like,
it's that whole Dark Knight thing where they talk about because Batman came out, the villains there's escalation.
Yeah.
So like Animal House would be the Batman and everything that came after. That's why you have Porky's after.
Porky's was after.
Yeah.
Like Porky's was probably 6, 7 years after.
I thought the first one was like maybe like 2.
2, yeah.
Like
80.
Yeah, I think,
like that. Yeah, that sounds about right.
But then even like the slasher flicks, like Friday the 13th, you know, they had to escalate after Halloween. You know,
I mean, Halloween scared them. Side of you.
Yeah.
And, like, you don't even see many people die in the film. Like,
no.
Like, all the kills come at kind of one time, and you don't really necessarily see them all. But gosh darn it, John Carpenter knew how to build some suspense, bro.
Especially with the music, too.
The music, that's his best score.
Yeah.
He's his best score. I mean, he's got a lot of good scores. But
yeah.
That's his best. When he's trying to kill Jamie Lee in the closet. Bro, when I first saw that, I thought my heart was going to jump out of my chest. Bro. I was like, ain't nowhere to run. Like, man, I was that stereotypical black dude. Like, that movie, like, screaming at the TV. But,
wow.
But yeah, so like, with Ferris Bueller, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he was definitely a culmination of all these different types of people.
Yeah.
Which is why I think everyone likes Ferris Bueller. I don't know too many people who are like, Ferris Bueller is just I haven't met too many people who don't like Ferris Bueller. You
know what he is? I just realized. So, like, if you look at, like, the original X-Men, you have Cyclops, you have Angel, you have Beast, you have Iceman, and you have Marvel Girl, but she's telekinetic. We're just going to look at the guys, right? Those are the guys. If you look at all their powers, they're essentially, if you separate Superman from certain powers that he has, because Cyclops has like what would be heat vision, Iceman has like the freeze breath, Angel can fly, Beast is like strong and agile. So you have that. So Ferris Bueller being like, if you take, like we said, the characters from Breakfast Club into one, so he would be the Superman. The Breakfast Club would be the X-Men.
Yes, they would, because like you said, he's the best of all of them.
Yeah.
Not the worst.
Yeah.
So that's a wow. Guys, I know your mind just got blown here.
Mine did too, and I thought of it.
Like, you started right there on the spot.
Yeah.
That was an incredible comparison. I mean, Ferris Bueller is essentially the Superman of John Hughes movies.
Yeah, of Shermer High.
Yeah, of Shermer High. Yeah, and I guarantee you, if you ask John Hughes, how old is John Hughes now? What?
He died in 2009.
Shit, he's been dead that long.
Yeah, 2009 he passed away.
Dang,
he
wasn't that old.
No, I think he was maybe 59 when he passed.
Be that old if he died
in
09.
Yeah. So he was young doing these films. He was in his like early 30s.
Yeah, he was.
Early to mid 30s doing these.
Wow, I didn't realize he died that young. Sounds like he might be dead. I think it was that long.
I think he was 36 when he did Ferris Bueller, because Alan Ruck, who plays Cameron, was 29. And he's like, John Hughes was only like 6 or 7 years older than I was.
That's insane.
That
guy was young, man.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
Yeah.
Because Matthew was probably in his
24 maybe?
Too. Yeah, early 20s. Yeah, I was like, he was definitely young.
So I think Sloane was the youngest.
Yeah. She was probably
like 18 or 19,
something like that. But yeah, I mean, it's a good way to break it down. But I'm like, John Hughes, I think if you asked him, if we could pull him out of his grave and ask him, he would probably tell you Ferris is his favorite character he's written.
It would have to be.
It have to be, man.
Yeah, because he could do no wrong. He's kind of like Bugs Bunny, too, because think about Bugs Bunny. No matter what situation he gets into, he uses his brains to get out of it.
Yeah. Get out of it
he's too smart to get caught. And he's too smart to let someone like think about what he says in Chez Louis, the restaurant. Mm-hmm. He's like, if I'm gonna get caught, it's not gonna be by a guy like that.
Yep, exactly.
And we know what he means when he says that, but it was the 80s.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think he just means anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I mean, dude, he was 3 steps ahead of his principal at all times. That's a grown man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and imagine what he's going to be when he's going through more life experience.
And his dad was right next to him how many times, and he still didn't know he was there.
Didn't know. Yeah. That's what I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
He's slick as oil. Like,
so he's either Bugs Bunny or Superman. Either way, he's the best at what he does.
He's Superman's abilities with Bugs Bunny's wit.
Yes,
so that's what it is. I mean, obviously, as we know, Superman, especially Clark Kent, was high, jolly, geeky guy.
Yeah. He's more the Brian from the Breakfast Club.
Yes, he is. But I do love Clark Kent trying to be human.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's just so, especially when you watch Christopher Reeve.
Oh, Christopher Reeve, man, he
killed that role.
Yeah,
so like
that's why it's so difficult for people to watch Superman things that aren't Christopher Reeve because
hard time, man.
Yeah, because he just was that character so well.
Because even though like bringing it back to Batman,
yeah,
all these Batmans, and everyone has their Batman they love.
Yeah, yeah.
But everyone can appreciate every other Batman.
Yeah.
But there are people who are like, I'm not watching Superman properly unless it's animated or Christopher Reeves.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, that's the only way.
Which reminds me, there's a new Superman cartoon. New episodes on Max, I think Thursdays or Fridays. My Adventures with Superman. It's anime influenced.
Whoa!
Yeah, I know. It's really good. You should check it out.
All right, bet.
It's on Adult Swim, I think Thursday nights.
That's probably great.
And then it's on Max like the next day.
Oh, great!
Yeah.
Check that out.
Jack Quaid does the voice of Superman.
Oh,
so Huey,
he's blowing up, man.
He is.
He's blowing up.
He is.
He's done a lot. Like he got The Boys. He got that. He just did Scream 5.
Yeah.
He just did another movie I just watched. He was good in. He's coming up. Man.
He was the voice of Gwen's Peter in Across the Spider-Verse.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's killing it.
Yeah.
He's good, man.
Yeah, he's
good.
I mean, good pedigree too. I mean, his parents are great.
I'm like, dude, you got a good family.
Yeah, yeah.
Hell, I mean, technically he's related to Randy too, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, that would be his uncle.
Listen.
How about Randy Quaid from the 80s?
I'm like, or
cousin, even from Independence Day.
Yeah. Oh, I love Independence Day.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, cousin, God, what the hell?
Eddie.
That's
cousin Eddie.
One of the best.
Yeah. I mean, lately Randy Quaid's been kind of iffy, let's say, but he is older.
He is old.
So we don't know, if there's other issues that could be there. Yeah. But Randy Quaid up to like 96, because that's when Independence Day came out.
He was killing it.
Yeah.
Shitter's full.
Yeah.
Hughes.
Yeah, you're right.
Hughes.
Yeah.
He was everywhere.
He was. Yeah.
But yeah, Ferris, man.
Ferris Bueller.
Honestly, like, thematically, Ferris isn't that strong. But entertainment-wise, it's probably going to entertain you the most out of the 4 films.
Yeah.
It definitely flows the best. It's fun.
And you're right.
It keeps your attention. There's stuff going on. Every scene has something worth watching it for.
And because Ferris learns nothing, his character has, I'm not going to say the worst arc, because he doesn't really have an arc.
He doesn't have an arc. It's really about Cameron.
It's about Cameron and it's about Jeannie.
Yeah.
Because Jeannie learns
to love.
Yeah, and she learns from, like, drugged up Charlie Sheen, which is just Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
That she can have her own life and not care what her brother does.
What he does.
Yeah, yes. She can love herself.
She can love herself. And
it's without comparing herself to her brother.
Yeah, because you're living in Ferris's shadow all the time because he was supposed to be younger than her, right?
Yeah, he's like a year.
Yeah, he's younger. But
oh no, I think she's a year younger.
Oh, she's
because he's getting ready to graduate.
That's right. Yeah. So it's like, because I'm like, man, because when I was rewatching this, I was like, me and my sister would not have snitched on each other. Like me and her, there's so many things that girl did. Mom, sorry if you hear this. I will never tell you about. Even though she drives me crazy, I will still never tell my mom. She's throwing cis code.
Yeah.
There was stuff I did she'd never tell my mom about.
Yeah.
I had way more dirt on her than she did on me, but.
It's probably better that way.
It is. I like it better that
way.
Yeah. I was more trustworthy with a secret. So, that they do really both have the strongest arcs and I think grow the most.
Yeah, they do.
The film. And I really think the overall theme of the movie is to live in the moment, take life as it comes, and just, enjoy. Wake up and smell the flowers.
Just life moves pretty fast.
Look at the glass half full.
Yeah.
Today. Don't look at it half empty. I think it's just a movie about having a positive mindset, truthfully.
And I think you're right because it's about Ferris being selfless. Because he does it all for Cameron.
Yes.
And he even wants to marry Sloane. And that's another thing about how, like, he is actually planning for the future. Because even Sloane, when they part ways, when he has to run home, she's like, he's going to marry me.
Yep. Yeah.
So even though you're only with them for that like 10 hours or whatever, there is a future there, even if it's up in the air.
Yeah.
Because he's worried because she has another year of school. and his sister's going to be there with her. but
hey, somebody can watch her.
but their relationship changes by the end. His relationship with his sister, I mean.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like, because she saves him from ruining.
Saves him.
Yeah.
I'm like, she came clutch at the end.
Yeah.
And she was kind of like, yo, you dude. Like,
yeah.
I loved her at the end. You know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because the first half, you're like, dang, man, why you hating so hard, man?
Yeah.
Like, shit, you ditch school too then. Who cares?
Yeah.
You may not be as slick, but who's stopping you?
Yeah.
You know, why you gotta block his shot? And then towards the end, you're like, you know what? She's all right. So
yeah.
Let's give a grade on it.
Oh, you know what? I love Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but I might just give it a B.
I would give it a B. I would give it a B to a B plus.
Okay.
Because it is lacking so much thematically.
Yeah.
And it is just all it is escapism for a little bit.
Yeah.
And not to say that obviously we love movies because they're escapisms, but every now and then you definitely want your film served up with something to leave you thinking. And
it's more a love letter to Chicago.
It really is.
So I think that's where, if there is anything lacking thematically, that's why.
Yeah.
Because it needs to focus on what you can do in Chicago, which isn't a bad thing though. It's not bad.
It's fun shit.
It's just kind of like, the plot is a kid skips school, the principal's tired of it. So it's sort of like if the principal from the Breakfast Club would have gone after John Bender.
Yeah, I'm going to take action.
Yeah. That's really what it is. And then he gets screwed over because it's like Wile E. Coyote trying to go after Bugs, the Roadrunner, or there were a few with Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny.
Yeah.
Just drop an Acme Anvil on him.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I will say, I like a solid B for sure. Strong B, B plus up there. But entertainment wise, if you like a fun movie, you will like Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. So
and now Pretty in Pink, I'm gonna grade it first. It's an F. Just overall, like
okay, I like that. Let's do that. We're gonna grade them first.
Okay.
And we're gonna talk about it. And we're gonna see if the grades change by the end.
Yeah. Okay.
Like okay. So our friend here is gonna give a fat F, failing.
Yes,
Sucks.
Failing.
I'm gonna give it a C minus.
Okay. Now, can I explain a little bit maybe as to why I give it that?
Absolutely. I thought we would all love to hear it.
Okay, so really quick, the film is just about a girl from the wrong side of the tracks.
Yeah, wrong side, which is
quite literally. I think there are tracks there.
There's tracks. It's not that wrong.
Yeah. So, her name is Andy.
Yeah.
So he reuses the same names a lot, it seems.
Yeah, he must forget.
So John Hughes wrote this film. He didn't direct it. Howard Deutsch directed it. And the guy who directed, I think, Some Kind of Wonderful, and
yeah, he did Some Kind of Wonderful,
and I think a couple other John Hughes written films he did.
Who did Say Anything?
Cameron Crowe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cameron Crowe.
That was what kicked him off, really. Right?
Yeah, because he wrote Fast Times, but Amy Heckerling, who did, European Vacation and Clueless.
Clueless, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, one of the best.
And Loser. Have you ever seen Loser?
With Jason Biggs.
Yeah.
Loser was good.
What a great movie. I'm one of the few people that saw it in the theater.
Like, Loser is great. It's the one with the hat with the checkered.
Yeah.
Yes, that was good.
Yeah, with Mina Suvari from also
you were
from.
Probably the only guy in the theater.
Yeah, I was. Me and my friend Jeffrey at the time. We went to see it.
In the theater.
Yeah, but
my mom watched that one day randomly when I was.
But I knew Amy Heckerling directed it. I'm like, she's a good director. Yeah. So it was underrated, very underrated. Especially for Jason Biggs, because he got a little more svelte after American Pie. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was before Saving Silverman.
Saving Silverman's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, with Amanda Peet, who co-created and co-writes that show, The Chair.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. So anyway.
Though, he ain't even the main character in that.
Well, no, because it's like Jack Black and Steve Zahn.
They're so
singing Neil Diamond, man.
They're so funny.
And even, oh my God, what is it, like R. Lee Ermey, the guy who was like the
coach?
Because he was a sergent in Full Metal Jacket. Yeah. He's probably one of the best characters.
So funny in that movie.
Yeah.
Being gay.
Yeah. Like, it's just a crazy, weird.
Funny.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Yeah, sorry. So
you hate it.
Yeah, so I hate it. So she ends up like kind of falling for like a rich guy
A
Richie, and you know she works in a record shop. Her best friend is like her, kind of a dorky, nerdy guy, and that's
fully in the friend zone.
And yeah, basically, and that's basically the plot of the story. She falls for this guy. He sort of falls for her. The Richie's friend doesn't like her because she's not rich.
Yeah, he's still wanted to hit.
And so it's about class warfare.
It is, but Steph still wanted to hit.
Yeah, he
she
did.
Turned him down.
Yeah.
So now he's mad. I think he's mad. Yes, I do think he's like, bro, you know, the Porries or whatever they call them. They're just for a little fun, and you kick him to the side.
Yeah.
But I think he was also mad the fact that he could pull her and he couldn't.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, freaking Steph, bro.
Yeah.
Spader, you know?
Yeah. I'm Ultron.
Yeah, right? I'm like, which is crazy. You know?
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
He would have been Ultron 20 years later.
Yeah.
You know, whatever. But he's actually good as Ultron.
He is good,
He is good as Ultron. But, yeah, man, I do gotta agree with Jamie. There's some, like, this movie is frustrating.
Yes.
And it frustrated me because, bro, I felt like I was watching a film about, like, biracial dating in the 50s.
Yeah, because they couldn't have it be... Yeah.
Oh, my God, can you believe she likes a rich guy? A female who wants a rich guy. That's so insane.
He must have a bigger bank account.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like, it seems like all his films, like, because they're not diverse, they have those themes of diversity, but without the diversity. Yeah, it's like white on white crime.
Yo, really?
You know, and it's weird because when you realize it, there's this weird dissonance.
It is because like about halfway through the movie, when pretty much when Ducky finds out like she's really feeling him and he freaks out, I'm like, why is everyone so mad? Because she likes a rich guy?
Yeah.
It's not strange.
Yeah.
Like, it's never been weird ever in the history of life for a woman to want a guy with money.
So here's the question, though. So who would be Brown in that scenario? Would it be her?
It's her.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
just checking.
She's poor.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Silly me. Silly me.
She's poor, so, you know, she's the brown person.
Yeah.
Ducky's the brown friend.
Yeah.
He likes his brown friend, but she don't like him because she likes the non-brown guy.
Yeah.
And he's upset because how dare you step outside of our class, not our race.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow. When I was because I saw it, you know, back in the day.
Yeah.
When I was watching it again, I was like, I just did not realize how social class was like really so heavy in this film.
Yeah.
Like the way the rich girls were treating her and her
it's terrible.
Like, yeah. And didn't Steph's girlfriend have like a dude name? Wasn't her name like Ben or something?
It sounded like, and he had a girl's name.
He was Steph, and her name was like Ben or something.
Yeah, they kept saying something like that. Yeah,
like, interesting. You guys should
or Benny, wasn't it Benny?
It was Benny.
Yeah, it was Benny.
Benny and Steph.
I'm
like, okay, Benjamin and Stephanie. No, that's not what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Which, I don't care. Who cares about their names? But I'm just like, they treated him so bad. Like,
yeah.
It's like, my main issue is they act like we're talking about people like holding up cardboard signs saying like we'll work for food. Dude.
Yeah.
It's a decent house. I mean, Harry Dean Stanton's her dad, who is an incredible actor.
Yeah.
Which he probably, I don't know, he was very miscast in this movie to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's probably too good of an actor to even be in this movie.
I could have seen like Lance Henriksen or something in that role.
You know, like,
yeah.
Yeah, that actually been a great cast.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's fine, but so it's just her and her father because her mother left him. He does explain why, right?
I don't think so.
He doesn't say why. He just explains when it went down.
Yeah, it's been 3 years, and he's still pining for her. Mm-hmm. And she's like, let it go, douchebag. You need to get to work. Because he's like really depressed.
Dude, he is. It's like, bro. And she's like, get to work.
But she's not helping him get out of his depression.
She's not. And, I mean, they make it seem like they're so poor.
Yeah.
They have a multiple room house. They each have their own cars.
Yeah.
She has a job. Like, she has clothes, food.
Yeah.
The house wasn't.
Now, she does make her own clothes.
Yeah, okay.
But she has the ability to.
Yeah, I was like, I did too. Because I had a style that the stores didn't carry.
Yeah,
so I learned how to make my own stuff.
Yeah.
So, Yeah, bro, she lives a regular ass middle class life. But they make it seem like this woman's literally begging for change.
I know.
It seem like,
yeah,
oh my
panhandling.
God, dear,
Yeah.
that boy want to date that disgusting, dirty, poor, filthy
Yeah,
trash.
like she's living at like the rescue mission or the YMCA or YWCA.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Bro, she's like, I don't want you to know where I live. I'm like,
yeah, and she's crying about it.
I'm like, bro, you probably live 5 minutes from him.
He already knows where you live.
Yeah, he knows where you live. He knows you're not a rich.
Here's what I wanted to know. I wonder if the house that she was admiring, like the rich house, was his house.
It probably was.
You know, but they never showed it because he's like, why don't we go back to my house? She's like, no.
Yeah.
Because I have to be all angsty and look like I'm constipated. She has that constipated look. Yeah.
She does. She's always just so tight faced.
Yeah.
Her mouth is always open. She's always got her teeth showing.
Yeah. And she has a lot of teeth.
She has a lot of teeth.
Yeah.
And they're big.
Yeah, I think she was up for like Mr. Ed in a remake at one point. I'm not sure.
She could have definitely
just put peanut butter on her gums and make it look like she's talking.
Because I mean, Molly, you guys probably you've heard me talk about this. I love redheads. I love them. Molly is not one I love, man. Molly is not a baddie, man. She's not it. Like I said, I don't even think she's that good of an actor. She's in good films.
Yeah.
Like, she's one of those actors who it's like, I like a lot of stuff you're in, but I don't necessarily like you. You know, she's one of those type of actors. But it's like, for real though, and I don't know if it was the writing of the script or if it was Deutsch's direction that really pushed this. Because I'm like, I understand the rich dynamic. That makes sense. We get it.
Yeah.
But in 85, like, I don't think it's that insane that a dude who's in the upper class to date someone who's upper middle class. Because if you live in that area, Chicago, and you're upper middle class.
Yeah, you're not.
You're upper
you're not living in the projects.
You're not even close.
No, so it's not like.
I'm like, you live is still in a nice suburban development.
If they really wanted to make it contrast, they would have had her.
She would have been
like in Good Times.
Yeah, bro. She would have roaches on the wall.
Yeah.
She would have been a hood white girl. She would have been all kinds of man. She's not even like edgy. She ain't even like an edgy. She looks like any other girl that went to the school. The way she dressed, the way she was, there was nothing about. If you saw her on the streets, you wouldn't be like, "That's a poor girl. That's a project girl."
Yeah,
you'd be like, that's just some regular.
You'd be like, "Why is she always wearing pink?"
Yeah, you'd be like, "You just wear pink all the time." Why is her mouth open?
Why?
Questions, not. Oh, what is this poor freaking parasite doing around here? That feels like they made her and Ducky out to be like. The worst parasites, bro. Yeah, straight parasites. It's insane.
And Ducky is the best character. I think we were talking about that between ourselves earlier.
John Cryer gives a great performance.
Yeah,
he definitely gives the best performance.
Was that his first film? I don't even know.
It's gotta be. It might. It's gotta. If it's not his first, it had to be his first big role.
Yeah.
And it's definitely his first major role.
Yeah.
He's great in the film. He does. I was talking about earlier with Jamie. He does a great dance number to Otis Redding's song. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, he does.
And I guess apparently it took him a lot of takes to do it.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty complicated. It would took me. They would have been like.
They should have just tried a little tenderness.
Yeah. I'm like,
that's what they should have done.
It's gonna take me about 3 weeks to get this down.
Yeah.
I would be so nervous for that scene if I was an actor. If I was an actor, any song and dance number, I'd be like, oh great. Here it comes. I'd be like Leo in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'd be so stiff,
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a really great character. I won't say he's likable. Like, I wouldn't hang out with him as a character, but to watch him was cool. And I do like the chick, her manager at the record store. She was pretty cool. Who Ducky ends up getting with?
Well, kind of. Sort of. He tries to use her to get back at Andy.
But they kind of like feel each other a little bit.
Sort of, but then Annie Potts, her character, ends up going out with a different guy later.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, so I don't like because Ducky kisses her and she's like, I kind of felt it in my giblets.
Yeah, she was like, she was kind of feeling it.
Yeah, but she's like, I'm old enough to be his mom. So it's weird. Now I'm gonna go out with this other guy.
Yeah, well,
and it looks like that was like his second or third thing he ever did. He did like a TV show and maybe another movie or something, and then Pretty in Pink was like the third. Yeah,
sure,
yeah, his breakout performance.
But I mean, it's.
But yeah, so I don't know if they actually. I don't know if it's like a 16 Candles situation with like Farmer Ted and the other girl, but
it is kind of like that.
Yeah,
kind of
sort of.
Situation, a little
sort
bit.
of.
I mean, it was way more interesting in 16 Candles.
But I think the direction in this film is not as good as what John Hughes was able to do.
If John Hughes directed this movie, it'd be way better.
And I think it would have happened like from the day before prom to prom.
Yes, he would have made
that. That would have been it.
Yeah, because the story has to stretch over the span of like what 3 or 4 weeks,
if not months. It felt like years.
Yeah, because like the part where her and Blaine stopped talking for a little bit.
Yeah,
felt like a gap.
Yeah. Because Blaine is the Richie guy, Andrew McCarthy.
Yeah, and
Larry Wilson from Weekend at Bernie's. Yeah,
I'm like, I don't know. I guess some time it went by, and then I don't like how like he ended up feeding into like the crap his friends were saying.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
what
that wouldn't have happened, bro. Like,
yeah,
as guys, like we take crap from like, especially when you're young, you'll take crap from your boys a little bit. But if you like a girl, bro, your boys aren't gonna stop dating her.
I mean, apparently he was into something pink.
Yeah.
So I don't know why. So I don't know why he would have backed off, and he was such a coward.
Yeah.
About it because she confronts him.
She confronted him. Yeah, she came right up to him and was like, "Bro, what's good? Why you ignore me? Why you being this? Why you being that?"
Yeah.
He's like, "I've been busy." Just be like, "Listen, I don't date broke hoes."
Yeah.
Like, just say that. If that's how you feel.
Yeah. And it's like, and she knew the reason, but he wouldn't say it.
And like, bro, is she? Yeah, man,
he was terrible in that movie.
It's frustrating. Yes.
Yes.
Freaking terrible.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think he was the worst character.
Yeah.
I preferred Steph.
Yeah. Well, because James Spader, as terrible as he was as a character, like
he answered the assignment.
Yeah, he gave his all, so that's why he was so terrible.
Yep. And
like to think, like the next year, he and Andrew McCarthy are in like Mannequin together.
Yeah. Crazy.
As enemies.
Buddies in real life, then.
Yeah, they probably were. I would think.
Still buddies.
But it's like, God damn, like, yeah, this movie just made it made me.
We're breaking it down.
Yeah.
See, the other three.
That's what the F is for. Frustrating.
That's what the F is for. Because now that we're like, we broke down the first three.
Yeah.
It made me like them more. It
made
me appreciate
this one. You hate it more.
Mad. Yeah. Because like, when I watched after it ended, I was like,
because she was annoying. That's the problem. She was annoying because she's like, poor me, blah, 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 blah.
Literally poor me.
Yeah. And it's like, what are you doing to change your situation?
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing, other than complaining.
And I'll give it to you, like, I'll give her credit. She went and confronted him. And okay, cool. But it's like, I don't know. All she did was complain. She complained about Ducky all the time. But
but he loved her to death.
He loved you to death. And yet you wanted him around all the time. But then when he wasn't around, you complained about him.
Yeah, he made you feel good about yourself. Yep, he was the only person, so you kick him to the curb.
Kick him to the curb, yep.
Because he's like, why don't we do this? I feel this way about you. And she's like, no, I'd rather have the guy that doesn't want me.
Doesn't want me at all. But you know that's how it goes.
That
is the most realistic aspect.
You're not paying attention to me? I want you.
I want you. Yep.
Yeah.
That is the most realistic aspect of the film.
Yeah.
The friend zone is a real thing. And
he
was in brother territory. And you don't come out of brother territory, bro.
Yeah.
The chick's like, I just see like a brother.
And that's sad because like he was a great character. Like and maybe that was the point of the movie, to care enough about him to feel his heartbreak.
Yep.
Not really hers.
Yeah. Dude, you care about Ducky more than anyone else.
Yeah. And it's like, it seems like that's how John Hughes films are. Like, you care more about, like, Cameron.
Yep.
Because you want to know what's going to happen to him because he, like, totally trashes his dad's Ferrari.
Dude.
You know, you kind of care more about, like Brian and even Andy.
Andy and Brian were definitely,
because they go more into their stories and their emotional pain.
Mm-hmm. That's what, like, they were definitely the two best.
And you care more about Jake and Ted in 16 Candles than you do like the main characters.
Yep. Jake and Ted definitely do not care about.
Yeah.
You know what does that all have in common? You never care about Molly Ringwald.
Oh my God! You know what? You're right.
Comment. You never care about Molly.
You're right, and maybe that's on purpose.
And maybe it is.
Maybe because we're saying like she's not that good of an actress, but maybe that's the reason why she was in those roles, because she's so bad you don't care about it.
Yeah, you can distance yourself from her.
Yes.
Emotionally.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It's like maybe because, but dude,
yeah.
Apparently John Hughes loved her. Like,
yeah,
and I guess like. I guess she was very reluctant to do 16 Candles.
Really?
Not 16 Candles.
Pretty in Pink.
Yeah.
Okay.
She didn't want it because she felt like she'd been playing this character a lot.
Yeah.
And he
really
pissed. He was mad. He was like, they were like, bro.
But he wasn't even directing it.
Yeah, but he was like, it's my movie and my name's attached to it. I mean, anything he writes, it's almost like Shane Black. No matter who directs it.
Yeah.
His name's definitely going to be talked about just with the director. So he was like, bro,
wow.
He was mad at her. And she was like, yo, he was mad for real at me. The way life worked out, she did eventually end up doing the movie. And I guess he apologized and stuff. But like, yeah, apparently he was like, you're the only person I want in this film.
Wow.
I guess she had made some suggestions of other actresses. He was like, no.
Yeah.
It's not happening. You're my girl. Where do you think you're going?
Wow.
You work with somebody that much, it gets like that.
Yeah.
Just like I'm afraid, I'm like, Oppenheimer's coming. I'm like, is Michael Caine gonna be in it?
Yeah, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. They're in all the Nolan movies. So
yeah.
Because it's just like Tarantino. Even if Sam Jackson in the movie, he probably narrated it.
Yeah, he does something. Yeah.
Same with Wes.
Yeah.
Bill's usually involved.
Yeah, except for Asteroid City.
I think it has something to do with.
It was scheduling.
Yeah. Some kind of scheduling conflict, which
definitely a film that he probably wrote during quarantine.
Yes, I think
since it's about a quarantine.
Yep, I was like, it's about a quarantine. He definitely.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was a really good. The more I thought about it, I was like, this has to be a reflection of Wes's upbringing as a kid.
It could have been, and I think because I texted you, like, it seems to be also like about the creative process of not only writing, but like directing and producing and getting the right actors for the parts. Yeah, getting everything together.
Because that's the most neat and tight, the most neat and tidy movie I think I've ever watched.
Yeah.
There isn't a damn thing out of place in that movie.
And
everything is in place.
And like all the scenery looks like if you took a screenshot of it, it could be a postcard for Asteroid City.
Yes.
All the color combinations.
Yes.
Everything.
I'm like, yo, this thing feel like the city feels everything's so clean, neat, and tidy. It feels fake. It doesn't even feel like you can actually go here. I'm like, I'm like, I'm like, God, it's just too much detail, honestly.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel lived in at all.
No, and it's like you feel this is how bad Pretty in Pink is. We're now talking about Asteroid City. Yeah. It's weird to me because it's like there's no answers.
There's none.
And even the actors want answers. Like Schwartzman's character wants answers for his character that he's playing.
Yes.
And there's no answers at all.
But I do love that meta aspect of it.
Yeah, because it's like it takes you out of it because it's like a film adaptation of a play, and then you learn the creative process behind the play. But it's like, what the fuck? And I love Wes Anderson, love him to death. But it's like even I'm like, okay, I could see Jeff Goldblum as the character he plays, but when they actually show that character, he's like a stop motion creation.
It's not even like is that even Jeff?
Yeah. It's only Jeff. Like when they showed behind the scenes, and then like sort of at the end.
Yeah, I'm like, bro. First of all, you got way too many actors. I'm like, there's too many actors and characters.
Yeah,
far too many.
Yeah, it was overrun. Like Maya Hawke is in it.
Yeah. Randomly.
Yeah.
So many random. Liv Schreiber?
Yeah.
Why is he in that?
Yeah.
I liked the little bit he was in. I thought he was actually
pretty
funny. But
he's great in everything he does.
He's a good actor.
He was even good in X-Men Origins Wolverine as Sabretooth. I mean, terrible film, but great actors in a terrible film.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah.
But it is Asteroids. Guys, I know we're talking about Asteroid City. I'm going to say this. I got to see... You said this to me. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
I have to because I'm like, I feel like I still can't even properly assess it because I need to see it again.
Yeah, because I'm seeing it like, I know the film aspect of it is like, if you think about the 50s, that's why I think it starts off in black and white because it's like those TV anthologies from the 50s. But then the film part is obviously in color and like widescreen because it's the time of CinemaScope, and all the bright colors and everything. But then they keep going back to like the black and white, like TV screen, like plays on TV kind of thing, like when they would do plays live. Because like the first Casino Royale adaptation was on a TV show in like 1954, and James Bond was American.
Really?
Yeah, like Peter Lorre plays Le Chiffre, and it's like an hour long live adaptation.
Royale was pretty much reworked from that?
No, well, Casino Royale was a book first. And so they adapted the book, but they made James Bond American in the first adaptation because it was like a 1954 TV show. It was like a play a week or a thing a week, and it was live.
No idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
I think Barry Nelson played James Bond. Wow. And he was Jimmy Bond. He was an American spy.
Yeah. He's American.
Yeah. And it wasn't a bad adaptation. Yeah. And it wasn't a bad adaptation. It's just like when you know, like, then you get Dr. No in 62.
Oh, yeah.
And obviously the Daniel Craig Casino Royale like blows it out of the water.
Sauce, man.
And they did do a comedy Casino Royale in like 66 with like Peter Sellers, David Niven.
Oh my God,
Orson Welles, I think, is in it.
What?
Yeah, it's a bunch of different directors.
I gotta see that because I love Orson. I love Peter Sellers.
You know what? I think I have the DVD. I'll give it to you.
All right,
I'll have to remember because the TV version is like a bonus feature, so they're both on there.
Wow.
But it's crazy. But yeah, obviously the Daniel Craig version just blows them all out of the water.
Of course, man.
But yeah, I think that's why he chose those certain ways of showing certain things. It's kind of like in Grand Budapest when the camera types change for each era that it takes place.
He's very like
meticulous like that.
That's just like that man is. I would love to take a step into his brain. And see it's probably so organized.
Yeah,
you know
it would have to be.
I would love to see his house. If his house was messy, I'd be shocked.
Well, I think he might live in France. I think.
Oh, wow.
I think he does now, and that's where it might be better to be like disconnected because he does. I mean, he's from Texas. That's where he met Owen Wilson in like film school. But it's probably better to be disconnected so he can accurately see like American culture for what it is.
Well, Kubrick started making his best stuff when he moved to the UK.
Yeah.
You know, so
I
think I would say the same thing. I would make the same point for him. He was like
that's why like British authors, like let's say Alan Moore, because you love Watchmen. He wrote Watchmen like and it's about America in the 80s.
Outside looking in.
Yeah, because he's British. Yeah. So it's like his version of how he sees American culture of that time. And it makes sense because like the Cold War paranoia and everything. And it's like, wow, it does make sense because America and Soviet Union were the big Cold War powers at the time. So
that's kind of nutty.
Yeah. Wow. Anyway, sorry. Pretty in Pink sucks. I still give it an F.
Now that we're going through it, bro, I might have to drop it to a D+, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, like Pretty in Pink. It just, I'm glad other good 90s high school films came out.
Yeah.
Because if Pretty in Pink was kind of the punctuation point of an era, it would have kind of soured the era.
Yeah.
You know, because like obviously John Hughes, after the 80s, he was writing more like comedy, family type stuff. He kind of definitely like we said, he ventured into Home Alone and
Uncle Buck. You say Great Outdoors.
And,
Planes, Trains.
He was definitely more into the family.
Curly Sue, I think he did that movie.
He did Curly Sue?
I think he did, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a talented dude.
Yeah, honestly, he was. He was a major talent.
What a talented dude.
And he produced a lot of other films, too, so he helped other artists. But
deep in the game.
Yeah.
He was deep in the game. That's nutty. But Pretty in Pink,
I think he had something to do with Beethoven also. At least the first one. I think the first one.
Movie,
yeah. That's probably why. That's probably why. Because
anything his stamp is on is at least watchable. Like Pretty in Pink is watched. Listen, all right, we're dogging it,
Yeah. But we're dogging it because we watched those other three.
Exactly. I was going to say we're dogging it because we're comparing it to greatness.
Yeah.
So it's like,
if I wanted to watch it after those other
like,
three films.
Man, you'd be like, it was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like,
yeah.
Because remember when I was texting the other day when I was watching the Breakfast Club, and I was
like,
I was like, I definitely think Pretty in Pink is probably going to be the bottom.
Yes.
Like,
it would have to be.
Yeah, it's by default. By default.
Breakfast Club does have the best cast.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Without question.
And the smallest cast.
The smallest cast and probably
the best. Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, it's kind of, in a way, it's kind of a claustrophobic film. It's all pretty much, for the most part, it takes place in a library. You know, they venture off into other parts of the school here and there.
Yeah,
but it takes place in one spot. It's the same guys. They're wearing the same clothes. It's 9 hours, and it works.
Yeah.
You know, like, just like how the first Saw movie worked really well. You know, with the
I never saw Saw. I do love James Wan as a director. So, like, Insidious 2, Conjuring 2,
the Conjuring one,
Aquaman. Death Sentence with Kevin Bacon.
I never watched that.
It's actually really good. But I never saw Saw.
Just watched
the first one with Carrie Elwes.
Yep.
Danny Glover. Yeah.
Just watch the first one.
Okay.
Just watch the first one. That's all you need.
Because look,
the second one's good too, but
James Wan and Lee Wannell, their collaborations were great.
Yeah. The first Saw is just so cleverly written. It's just so well written, and like the end's gonna leave you like, you're gonna be like, wow.
Is it? I just have to ask because the reason I like Insidious or love Insidious and The Conjuring is for the same reason Felicia does. Felicia loves like 70s horror filmmaking, and so like when you don't see it.
Conjuring's such a good
70s. So like those jump scares, but without the gratuitous gore and stuff. Yeah. Is Saw like that?
Dude, Saw has like the first one. Truthfully, only has like 1, maybe 2 scenes of gore.
That's awesome.
Because
I like when things work without it.
It works. Yeah, it works so well without it. It takes place in pretty much one room, and like. The dude's trying to figure out how to get out this situation, but it's written so well and layered throughout, and he's like really learning and realizing a lot of things in the error of his ways and why he's in the situation he's in, and it's like, and it's about sacrifice. I mean, that's the main theme of the movie is sacrifice. What are you willing to sacrifice for your salvation?
Yeah.
It's great. Oh,
wow.
Now you make me want to watch the first one. I haven't seen it in a while. So
well, they made so many now.
Yeah, well, that's what I said. Don't go past 2.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I was like, they made a movie called Saw. I'm like, it's about a saw. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
And I watched it. I was like, you know what? God damn it, it was good.
Believe it or not, I remember On Demand at the time, like after it came out, you know, to watch. There was also a movie at the time called C. So, and I know, I know, it was crazy because they had them together. So it was like C Saw, and I'm like oh no, it wasn't C. It wasn't C. I'm sorry. I apologize. There was a movie called Rick. So it looked like Rickshaw. Yeah, it's actually what it looked like. I'm sorry. I totally messed it up. But there is a movie called C. But yeah, it was Rickshaw. And I'm like, what?
You're like, should I watch these back to back?
Yeah. So I can pull someone?
There you go.
Like, man. What is going on here? Rickshaw. So I think Rick was a film with Aaron Eckhart.
He's good.
I believe. Or Bill Pullman. One of those. I forget. Aaron Eckhart is good.
He's good in Batman.
He was great in Aaron Brockovich.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's probably his best role.
Today's the 13th. Steven Soderbergh has a show coming out on Max.
Today?
Yeah. It's a 6-part miniseries that I can't remember the name of.
He was in that movie, Thank You for Smoking, too. That was pretty good.
Yeah. Aaron Eckhart is
he's a good
incredible.
He's underrated.
Yeah.
He's so good in Aaron Brockovich. I'm like, bro, I don't care. He still put his dirty hands on my Julia. Keep your hands off of her.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, Steven Soderbergh. It's a new show. I was reading about it the other day. Now I gotta look this up really quick because it should come up.
I'm gonna wrap up.
Yes, please. I'm so sorry.
People, yeah, my final grade for Pretty in Pink. I'm gonna give it a D+. It's okay. I'll say this. If you like 80s stuff, you'll like a lot of it because the music's good, the style, like the clothing, all that. It's got all the 80s flair to it. Absolutely. But it just don't slap the way the other Johnny Hughes boys does.
Yeah.
It's like maybe it's just missing his direction. But there's other movies he wrote that are good that he didn't direct.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know. And I'm not putting it on Howard Deutsch because I didn't read the script. I don't know how much he changed or what liberties he took. But I'm guessing John Hughes didn't let him sway away too much.
Yeah, and honestly, Howard Deutsch, yeah, he did do other things after that. So it might have just been a studio. You know, how sometimes producers...
producer, director for hire type.
Yeah,
yeah. Say, hey, bro,
yeah.
We want to make this movie. You want to make some money? Let's do it. So what is it?
Oh, it's called Full Circle.
Okay.
Claire Danes.
Oh.
Timothy Oliphant. Zazie Beetz.
Oh.
Like,
wow.
yeah. So
that's 3 good leads.
Yeah, it's a 6-part miniseries. Dennis Quaid is in it.
Oh, man, he's great always.
Yeah, so it should be pretty good. I mean, Steven Soderbergh is just incredible. So,
insane.
Yeah, Full Circle. I think at least the first episode came out today. I was reading about it yesterday.
Still probably had the best 3-year run, maybe.
Oh my God! Well, we'll have to go over some of his films sometime.
Oh yeah, we might have to. I think we should do an underrated directors episode.
Yeah,
and just we can each come with 3.
Yeah.
Because Soderbergh would be one of mine. Richard Donner would be one of mine.
Oh, yeah. Richard Donner, because look, The Omen,
dude, The Omen,
Superman, Goonies, Lethal Weapon.
All 4 of them.
Yeah. All 4 Lethal Weapons. Yeah, you're right.
I'm not
yeah.
one
and even pre-crazy Mel Gibson, that Conspiracy Theory. Yeah, I think he directed that too.
He was a monster.
Yeah.
He was a monster. I'm like, dude.
And in fact, you bring up Richard Donner. Lauren Schuler was one of the producers of Pretty in Pink. I believe she ended up marrying him, Lauren Schuler Donner, because she produced the X-Men movies. Because he was supposed to direct the X-Men in the 90s.
You should have asked him for some advice on Pretty in Pink.
Yeah. I think it was before I assumed they got married.
Richard Donner directed Pretty in Pink, it would have been fire.
Oh my God, it would have been, yeah.
You threw some action in it.
Yeah.
Maybe a fight scene.
Yeah, but I think he was doing Lethal Weapon at the time.
Yeah, he definitely was.
Yeah, so.
He was definitely doing Lethal 2 at that time.
Yeah, so it's
I'm like, Richard Donner literally went on an all-star run.
Yeah.
From The Omen all the way until...
So 75 till probably around the time that he died.
98. He died what?
Recently.
2000 what? It was
something.
15 or something?
Something
16?
like that, yeah.
It wasn't that long ago.
But I think he was still directing or at least producing
he was still
good stuff.
in the game.
Yeah.
Because I know him, Mel, and Danny before he died
wanted to do 5.
Coming back for 5.
Yeah.
Now Mel might direct 5.
Yeah.
So which I'm cool with that. He's a great director.
I think it'll be great because Danny Glover is finally the age that Murtaugh was. But he's finally the age Murtaugh was supposed to be in the 80s.
Yeah, he is because I think he was playing
older
10 or 12 years old.
Yeah,
Same with
Gibson.
Mel Gibson. He was
30.
Yeah,
and he was playing like a 40s.
40,
yeah.
So I'm like, he's there. I think that is some of the best on-screen chemistry you're ever getting. Them two, they were phenomenal.
Honestly, they were, and you didn't expect it.
You really didn't. Well, if you listen to the stories about them, they're like they wanted Bruce Willis to play Riggs instead of
really.
Yep, they wanted, but that
would have been before Die Hard.
Die Hard,
yeah.
So he ended up passing on Lethal.
Yeah,
and ended up working with John McTiernan. So
wow.
So then they were holding auditions, and they had already casted Danny Glover to play Murtaugh because they loved his work on The Color Purple.
God, he was a terrible human being in that movie, but he was great. Yeah, yeah, because you hated him.
Such a dick.
Yeah,
This is the movie that made you want to. Clearly he's talented.
He was also in Witness. He was one of the crooked cops in Witness.
He is.
Yes.
Yo, he's the one. He runs up in the bathroom, bro.
Yeah,
Harrison Ford's in there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. God damn.
Yeah.
Glover, man. Predator 2?
Oh, my God. But he only got that because of Lethal Weapon, I think. Because there's no way you could follow up Schwarzenegger with Glover.
Yeah, with Glover, bro.
Now, Donald Glover, maybe.
Maybe. It's insane.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you know what, though? Looking back at Predator 2, it's not as bad as, looking back on it, it's not as bad as, people made it out to be when it came out.
Isn't Gary Busey in Predator 2?
Yep.
The best part of Predator 2 is that alien skull on the ship.
Yeah.
Because it lets you know that, they exist in the same
same world.
That might be the first multiverse reference in a movie.
Yo,
if you think about it.
It might be.
Because that was 1990.
90, and they probably did it on accident.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, probably didn't realize what they were doing.
Yeah, that these two franchises could coexist together.
Even though they probably shouldn't have. But
No, probably not.
I'm like, they're great on their own. Well,
I think the same people might have written the scripts, or at least the first draft of the scripts. I believe for Alien and Predator. If I'm not mistaken, I think Dan O'Bannon may have had something to do with both of them.
Yeah, because Ridley made it his own though.
Oh, he did.
Ridley, man. You see Napoleon coming out, him and Joaquin.
Oh, I saw the poster just came out.
Him and Joaquin.
Yeah.
Like Ridley's still directing, bro. That dude old.
Well, yeah, but look at Eastwood.
Yeah. Bro, still working.
If you have a story to tell it.
Tell it, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, if you can.
Yeah, if you can. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. If you're able, tell your story. Anyway, oh my God, so sorry.
We went on this one, guys. We went on this one.
Yeah, we did.
That's okay. Because that's how fun it is. Guys, we're going to wrap this up, get you out of here. I'm Dom.
I am Jamie.
Thank you for watching The Cutting Room Floor.